Ahem. Ahem. Okay, I'm not muted anymore. Good. Alright. Hello, everybody. Whatever Wednesday jump scare. I'm doing whatever the fuck I want. Let me make sure also that I've put out my stream announcements and such. I need everybody else to be jump scared by a random corgi event. Because on Wednesday you never know what you're gonna get, although if you pay any attention at all to the kind of stuff I post in my server or on my blog, then you can probably get a pretty good idea of what I'm getting into. And lately it's been this game, The Wonderful Weird World of Fallen London. I've returned to it after a couple of years, and I haven't been able to stop playing, because that's just how it is with these games. They're, my understanding is that they're very obscure. I've only met a handful of people who have even heard of them. And so, to give the brief rundown for anybody who might pop their heads in here and doesn't know what the hell is going on in this game, I will give you a brief explanation. Let me first continue from my last save. I pondered starting a new game, for stream purposes, but I didn't know if I wanted to do all of that, since this is just a casual stream. I'm just chilling. So anyway, Sunless Skies and its predecessors, Sunless Sea, and the browser game Fallen London, which, by the way, you can sign up online and play for completely free if you don't want to commit to buying Sunless Sea or Sunless Skies. It's based on the premise of a poem by Samuel Taylor Coleridge called Kublai Khan. It references a sunless sea and is built on kind of the hollow earth theory. Basically, the idea is that London fell into a subterranean ocean in the Victorian period. And so now Londoners lived underground, in a hollow earth sea that is filled with like all kinds of fucked up Lovecraftian horrors and stuff. Sunless Skies takes place like 8 or 9 years after Sunless Sea, I think. Although if you can see the date down here, I'm 2 years into this run in game. You can just kind of keep it going for however long you want, I think. Your lineage continues after your captain dies or whatever, which is one of the central parts of how the game is played. But we'll get into that in a moment. The premise of Sunless Skies is that Queen Victoria and all of her scientists, all of her astronomers basically found a way into the heavens through this sunless sea. They found a gate to the heavens and they entered it and brought London built brick by brick out with them and rebuilt it out in the skies. So now London is in the heavens. It's in the sky and a different solar system. Space also isn't a vacuum. It's just very, very cold. So this is kind of it's just a very interesting historical fiction slash fantasy slash horror type of game built on the idea that Queen Victoria moved London to the skies, and also she's immortal because they found out that they can mine time from space. And of course, rich people got really big money bags in their eyes about this, and were like, "Oh boy, we can use poor people to mine all the hours that we want, and basically live forever." Do you guys think there might be like a metaphor for industrial era capitalism in there somewhere? Anyways, all of that aside, there's a lot to digest. If you don't know what the hell is going on with this game, you might be a little bit lost. But I think one of the central rules of Fallen London in general, it's a highly self-referential body of work. It will reference like bits of other games or other events in the same game, and you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? This is something that happens a lot. That will happen a lot if you come into this game without having played any of the prior ones. It's just sort of, ugh. I was wearing a jacket. I have to take that off. It's getting too hot in here. Part of the experience is just that you're going to be confused, and so the way to experience any part of Fallen London is basically to take it almost at face value. Just kind of nod and say okay. If you don't understand something, you just say okay and you move on. Chances are it will either be explained later or built upon by much of the other lore that you find, but you have to really accept going into it that it's just strange. It's weird. It doesn't make sense. They will just say shit that is normal. The world building very much presents a very different kind of normal for this world that is like hard for people to wrap their heads around, I suppose. It treats it as if it's fact. Um Describes it just plain right out there, plain as day. Oh yeah, by the way, there's a whole race of anthropomorphic squid people who can't speak very well, but really wanted to fit in with Londoners, and Londoners shunned them because they were like, ew, what the fuck, squid people, and also because Londoners will never miss a chance to be really racist for no reason. Um, anyway, yeah, they're squid people. Uh, if you're gonna, before anybody asks me if you can fuck the squids in this game, yes, you can. I don't recommend it, but you can do that if you want. It's also very text based. I played around with a bunch of different layouts, and ultimately decided to make everything full screen because the text is pretty small. It's a serif font. Um, it's probably going to be hard for people to read if I make it any smaller than it already is. So everybody can actually probably read along with me when I do any kind of reading. The basic rundown is you are the captain of a locomotive. You're moving your train through space because that's how we travel through space. You have several things to watch out for. You have fuel and supplies, which you will they run down naturally over time. You'll have to frequently restock. You have crew, which you can have a full crew. You don't really need one, but it's good to have a mostly full crew at any given time. The more crew you have, generally, the more supplies you go through, but the faster your ship runs. At least that's how it worked in Sunless Sea. I'm pretty sure that's how it works mechanically here. Anyways, it also means you'll be able to take riskier maneuvers because these guys are super replaceable. That's a horrible thing to say, but they are. Um, you got cargo. The fuller up it is, the slower you move. But you generally want to have more spaces for hold stuff because you can get your hands on shiny goodies that will get you money. And then this is your terror bar. You don't want your terror to get to 100. Right now it's at 21%. That's pretty good. There are a lot of things in this game that will raise your terror. There are a lot of things in this game that will lower your terror. Um, but of course, things that will raise your terror are a lot more frequent. The way to make money is to basically go between different ports, buying things that are at at partial cost, and then selling them where they're in the highest demand. Um, they kind of explain this sort of the somewhat tutorial as you go to this place, the Promise of Days, and sit down with people who tell you, yeah, just look for prospects, look for what people want, and then sell it to them at their asking price because it's going to be higher than everywhere else. My hull needs a little bit of repair. That's okay. I got a very tanky hull at this point. I could, at some point, I'm not going to repair my locomotive. I already did that. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, you go over to shops. You can buy a bunch of upgrades to your train here, but of course, in this game, you start in New Winchester, which is basically an English city out in the high wilderness, like the main hub. This is where you can get all your upgrades at the start of the game. But these are early game upgrades, and I don't need them anymore, so I'm not going to hang on to them. Actually, hold on. I can sell. I was hanging on to bronzewood shielding without needing it. Yup. Actually, is there anything else I can sell from here? No. I don't think, there's some things I don't think I can get rid of. That's okay. And then, of course, there's all these very cool engines. My problem with some of these is that they sacrifice hold capacity and things like that for, being able to shoot better. And I'm like, if I don't think I'm gonna win a fight, I'm just not gonna get into it. And that's how I've survived this long, actually. Which brings me to another central part of gameplay here. You can't really see my officers or myself, but here's me. You make your character, you give them different facets that improve their stats basically, and stats are the way that you make checks in this game like you would any other sort of tabletop type RPG. Uh, when your character dies, which typically happens when your hull breaks all the way, your train breaks apart, you're lost in space, perish. Your some of your stuff will get passed on to another captain who will be the next in your lineage, and you can then remake a character from the ground up. If you so desire. Some people choose to play on merciful mode, where they just get sent back to their last save whenever they die, or the last port they saved at. Um, I don't do that. I think when I last played this game I chose to do it because I was dying a lot more often, but I'm not doing that. And I'm currently only on my second captain here. My first one was named Pembroke. This one is named Cardigan after the other variety of Welsh Corgi. And Cardigan is having a much better time of it. I've explored 3 of the 4 areas in this game because there's 4 different areas. And I have a lot of money. I'm actually most of the way to completing my ambition. Also, hello, Mzingawa. I also appreciate the drill attachment. The drill attachment is just so incredibly useful. You really get the most bang for your buck out of it. You attach things to your ship here, see, and this is how you drill things that you might want to sell, get different materials. Assaying is like fine. I find that it varies in usefulness depending on the area you're in. So, for example, I think drilling and assaying are most helpful in the Reach, which is basically the stretch of wilderness. If you want to go where Albion, which is where London is, I like to take my drill and then the butchery. Because you can get much more useful stuff there from butchering, I think, than you can from assaying. Although it's funny because you can't even get the assaying array until you get to London, which is considered like mid-game. Anyways, so this game has several potential win conditions that you can achieve. I chose my ambition to be wealth because this is the easiest and I've actually never completed a game and properly retired a captain with this one. Um, it is not enough to be rich. One must be seen to be truly, lavishly, importunately wealthy. In order to retire in the manner to which you wish to become accustomed, you require 2 things: suitable property and the admiration or envy of your peers. These are the best security that money can buy. So this has 2 steps, basically. You buy an estate, you snazz that estate up, which I already did, and then you open your estate basically and make a public show of wealth and like, look, I'm having a big party to show my support of a given cause. Your estate and its lavish renovations have drawn attention. One cannot be in possession of so much wealth and remain out of society. People are eager to determine your character, your value, and just how much use you might be as a friend. Soon the hour approaches that you must open your estate to company. You have only to choose the manner in which you'll do so. So currently, I cannot do this because I don't have enough for any of these. The one I'm closest to right now is hosting an evening of infernal splendor. This is if you want to align yourself and throw a big party with the devils. And the devils are real, by the way. Fallen London lore says that there was a revolution in hell that basically threw the devils out of it, the devilish aristocracy, and so they've basically just kind of gone all over the place since then. Um, we can get into that later though, but yeah, devils are real, and you can hang out with them. You didn't know that this was in the Sunless Hollow Earth, or yeah, it's the setting of Fallen London. It's a sequel. There it goes, Fallen London, Sunless Sea, and then Sunless Skies. And Sunless Skies, I think it's a big visual upgrade for sure. It's a very, very pretty game. I would not say navigation is an upgrade. Navigation is one of the things that kind of irks me about it. But a lot of the other stuff I find makes it a lot more fun to play, or rather it has a gameplay loop that I can appreciate more in some aspects. So what I really want to do is host a secret benefit for the new street line, which is basically I'm freeing indentured workers from their horrible working conditions and smuggling them to safety. Because I have a couple of the things I need for this, but I need a bit more money. Most importantly, I need 2 captivating treasures, and I need to smuggle more people out so that I become a hero to the new street line. This sort of underground railroad for these really impoverished, struggling debtor prisoners. So, that's the nitty gritty of it. Oh yeah, and I have this black box. The game opens with the death of Captain Amelia Whitlock. You're a captain, you are her first officer, and she leaves you with this mysterious black box that she wants you to transport to an address in London. You can do so with or without opening it, or you can sell it off to the highest bidder. You can basically do whatever you want with it. It's up to you how you resolve this. I think you can only resolve this once in your entire lineage, though, because it gets passed down through the lineages until you deal with it. At least I think that's how I think it went. Anyway, I'm saving that shit for later. You've heard about all of them, but you've only had glancing intersections. Yeah, that's understandable. They're very addicting because of their kind of roguelike nature, but I've actually been doing very well for myself. My next little trip out here, I had planned to go. So this is the Reach. This is the Wilderness. I'd planned to go up through Port Avon, I think, and just kind of circle around the northern area because I have some errands to run. I usually only like to make trips if I have like several places to go. So I just kind of head off in that direction, kind of try to circle around back to wherever the central point is of each map, because the capital is pretty much always in the center. In my experience, at least. I haven't been to the Blue Kingdom, which is the endgame zone. I plan to go soon, but not yet. I have business here. I have business in London. Hi, Olive. Certified Olive moment. No, that's my water. No, stay. Olive. Olive, come here. One kind of secret little ambition I want to fulfill for personal reasons is I want to get more animals on my ship. I want to get all the animals that you can get on your ship. Speaking of animals, introduce you to some of my lovely officers. This is the Fortunate Navigator. He was a servant of the son of the Eagle Khan. Part of Fallen London lore is that the Mongolian excuse me, Olive. Excuse me. Okay, thank you. Part of Fallen London lore, like in the Coleridge poem, is that Kublai Khan, and the Mongolian Khanate also fell. Olive, sorry, she's rubbing herself all over my microphone, standing on my keyboard. Can you not do that? Do I have to kick you out? Hey, can you just sit on my lap? Olive's problem is that she gets very, very excited and has to rub herself on absolutely everything. Okay, there we go. Chill out, girly. But yeah. Basically, several hundred years before London fell into the Hollow Earth, Kublai Khan and his Mongolian, city fell down into Hollow Earth. and they have since built this whole economy for themselves. There are cities that fell even before that. One of them was Uruk, by the way, and also Gilgamesh is alive because he found immortality and is now managing an asylum. Don't worry about that bit. It's not entirely relevant. Um but yeah, the Khanate, they're now called the Eagle Empyrean, or the Eagle Khan is their leader. This guy was a servant of his son, and he basically became besties with the son. Um and so unfortunately his bestie died, and so now he's off seeking adventure on his own. Um, he also might have smuggled the corpse of his best friend into my engine because he really wanted to go on adventures with him that badly. But honestly, he's like, we were talking about it in my server, he's honestly like the most normal officer out of all your officers, to be honest. What does that say about everyone else? Well, here we have the Incognito Princess. Um, she is known in Fallen London as the Captivating Princess, and she's like, she's kind of pure evil. Um, Now I feel like a really good. It's not an asylum. It's totally a reputable hotel, and the manager is definitely not making a collection of people with mental problems. Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, definitely, totally. Um, I feel like the best analogy to help people not familiar with Fallen London understand the Incognito Princess is to think about, like, the fairies from Fate Grand Order from Lost Belt 6. If you know anything about fairies, you'll understand how this princess acts. It's like it's like she exists almost outside of the confines of human morality. Yeah, she's basically like Aurora. Everybody adores her, and she's beautiful, and she's popular, and but she is like she is fucked up. She murders people and does not think anything of it because they're inconvenient to her or whatever. Um, but yeah, that's the best analogy. Now, does this mean I don't like her? My problem with her is more that she's a monarch than the fact that she's a reformed cannibal, honestly. Uh, but right now, I actually think I've almost finished her quest line. She wants me to go to London right now. And I'll do that later. This is the Clay Conductor. The Clay Men are one of Fallen London's underclasses. You can basically think of them as being like clay golems that were designed for work. And this guy was part of a choir with his best friend, another clayman. They were a duo. They did singing duets, and then his best clay friend died, and he's really sad because he hasn't been able to find anyone who can match his voice and harmonize with him since. Um, I've also gotten far enough in his quest line to seduce him, which I didn't know you could do, but I'm not gonna do that right now because I just don't really want to do that. To be honest. Um this is your aunt, the inconvenient aunt. Is she really your aunt? Who knows? She's on your ship. She claims to be your aunt, and she bakes really well. Also, she used to be a spy for the crown, but don't worry about that. It definitely isn't getting us into any nosy, troublesome business. She's everyone's aunt, yeah. This is the Chiropterus Hoarder. If you think that they look like a weird bat person, yes, they are. Fallen London has a race of strange bat people that were known as the Masters of the Bazaar. That's bazaar as in like the kind that you sell stuff at, the marketplace, you know. And they used to have an alliance with London, but they kind of fell out of favor. They're known, of course, though, for basically being merchants, kind of. They're always in some kind of position where they're selling something. But this one is seeking something eternal. Um, it has everything it could want for its collection except something eternal. and it wants me to help it find that. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember what I have to do next with this one. Can you seduce the bat dude? I have no fucking clue. I'm not sure. I want to find out. Next, the amiable vagabond. Uh, he's chill. He's a chill guy. He looks like any other hobo when you take him on board, but it turns out he was a prospector who actually struck it really rich when mining hours first became a thing out in the wilderness. And he decided he didn't really want to live that life for whatever reason. We don't know why. Um, but he decided he did not care for the life of luxury, and he has basically a crew of orphans that he claims he's the king of. Um, and he goes to visit them every once in a while. Very charming. There's a VN where you can seduce Mr. Pages. I know that Mask of the Rose is probably the one. I actually wanna check that one out, but I've not been able to. I do not have that one. Um, that's the one. Yeah, that one is like a built around being a sort of dating or romance sim, if I'm not mistaken, which is a really interesting direction to take it. I feel, given that both of their other games, both of their other like purchasable games, I mean, were kind of built around kind of the tension of having to manage a lot of different things, supplies and such. This is the repentant devil. He's one of the devils I talked about. You know, the guys who poke you with really hot pokers and brands and stuff in hell. He's repentant. He mostly wants to, well, we honestly don't really know what he wants. He wants to figure out someone tried to kill him, and he wants to figure out who it was and why. That's basically the extent of what we know. We also know that he used to be somebody who could reform people's souls. He doesn't really do that anymore though, because other devils have taken that over. Um, and he's annoyed with them. He's a little bit annoyed with them. This is the incautious driver. This is the first person you can recruit actually. Um, they're interesting. They might actually be my favorite. Basically, they during a previous job, they contracted a fungus that lives in their brain and makes them crave danger. It wants to go fast. And so they're just my very reckless driver who is always getting into shit because their brain fungus is telling them to go fast. I think the last time I played this game, I might have actually resolved their storyline, but I don't remember entirely. Uh, these guys are my real favorites. The Rat Brigade. Um, I mean, there's not much to say about them. They're rats. Uh, it's like a fallen London. Rats can talk. Rats are intelligent creatures, and they're an ex crew of mercenaries, and they come on your ship, um, looking for revenge for their fallen sergeant. This is the feline eccentric. Um, she's an engineer who comes on with three very mean cats who do not like you. And then come to find out that they're not actually cats at all. They're manifestations of her old self that she kind of slowed off in a prison that she was in. And when she left, these parts of herself just followed her out. She couldn't get rid of them. So we have to help her get rid of them. I'll also do that later. The rat version of the penguins of Madagascar? Yeah, basically. You can basically think of them as being like that. um, and then mascots. There's not much to say about the mascot. This is just a grubby little urchin that we found stowing away on our ship. We let her stay, because why not? She does. These guys never really have a story going for them. They just do stuff every once in a while. The dog. What the dog doing? And then a Blemigan. These guys are little mushroomy creatures that were especially prominent in Sunless Sea, but this one just doesn't really do anything except stare out the window. Um, a little bit boring if you ask me. I think they should have put a Blemigan subplot in here. If they did put one in there and I just haven't found it yet, though, don't tell me. Okay, now that I've spent half an hour... He's very distinguished, though, it's true. Now that I've spent half an hour explaining what the fuck is going on in Fallen London and Sunless Skies, let's just put all of that into action. I will show you guys what this game actually looks like, and don't mind me. I end up checking my map a lot because I am very liable to take wrong turns at places. I mean, you know this about me. I'm very directionally challenged. So I'm always having to check if I'm taking the right way. Right now, I'm riding in a trader ship because that was the one that had the most favorable ratio of, like, hold to gun slots and auxiliary slots and stuff. It's very important to me to actually be able to interact with stuff as I, Oh, I was worried there for a second. It's very important to me to be able to actually interact with stuff as I, pass it, which it, like, doesn't really like to let you do if you don't have the right equipment to mine rocks or, get other materials. Oh yeah, sometimes I do that. Ooh, too slick with it. And you may be surprised to know that a good deal... Oh, I found some souls. You may be surprised to know that, a good deal of the game that isn't reading is just this. Just driving around, taking in the scenery, and also, you know, dodging the horrors sometimes. You have to do that. That's not optional. So this is Port Avon. Their gimmick is sort of funny. Is that Failbetter Games material being played, I see? That's right. I am a big fan. Well, hello and welcome, Akninarith. I probably pronounced that terribly, but I hope you're having a good time. Quiet day. We'll buy fuel, because I have the slots for it. Do I have the stuff for Mr. Menagerie? I think I actually... This guy has some scouts. Oh, I got it in one. Excellent. Okay, Mr. Menagerie is passing through Port Avon. A lot of this stuff is, like, really intuitive to me, so I just start skipping past, like, yeah, let me just get my shit and go. But I should probably start reading, so people can actually understand what's going on with the story. Ahem. A tattered poster by the station advertises the services of a Mr. Menagerie, purveyor of fine scouts. An accompanying picture displays a tall, cloaked figure, slightly stooped, clutching an array of adorable little beasts close to its long chest. A pile of cages rests by the village green. So, he will pass after we've, he will pass after we've interacted with him here, but that's okay. The cloaked figure looks up as you approach. Its garnet-hued eyes gleam from the darkness of its hood. "Scouts?" it rasps hopefully, its voice like a cleaver on a whetstone. "We trade scouts for things and stories." It leans closer to you. "We're leaving soon." All Failbetter does is good. Oh yeah, I've heard of Cultist Simulator. Maybe I'll grab that one day, but I've been really having fun with the Fallen London series. That is definitely my big thing, at the moment. I have enough Searing Enigmas to get a KV, that's good. Or a Ratronaut. But first we need to, this is part of a side mission that I'm doing. A Mr. Barleycorn, another of these, masters, has been looking for the seals of others of his kind. So we're gonna show Mr. Menagerie the seal of Mr. Barleycorn. Is he one of the 7 Mr. Barleycorn is looking for? A hiss, a heavy jab in your ribs. "Put it away! We will not look!" It covers its face with its wing. We are not ready to look. Still a long way to go. When we rest, maybe. Maybe then we will be ready. Okay, so we have to follow Mr. Menagerie to the end of its journey. Okay. So right now, so we have to basically keep buying things from it and then letting it go, like, you know, off to wherever it wants to go, and then show it the seal. I see. So now we'll purchase an intrepid cavie. A large guinea pig wearing a plumed helmet is dozing in a hutch. It is sleeping next to an intricate mechanical bat. What the guinea pig doing? A very intense, kind of a one-player Facebook game on steroids. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, maybe I will check it out. I'm pretty used to failbetter games being quite intense. Mr. Menagerie extends a long finger to prod the dozing guinea pig. "Oh," says the cavie, rubbing sleep from its eyes with a front paw. "I do beg your pardon." It sits upright to address you. "Sir Lionel at your service. Am I to understand you are in need of a valiant scout? If so, I'm the very pig. Just point me in a direction and I will sally forth on my trusty bat." Mr. Menagerie seems somewhat relieved to pass Sir Lionel on, and begins to gather up its things. Well, okay then. Alright, so Mr. Menagerie then leaves a note saying where it's gonna go next. The poster at the station has been torn down, and there is no sign of Mr. Menagerie itself. Cowled figures lurk in the fog, but none have a collection of adorable little beasts. The station master waves you over. Mr. Menagerie has left a note for you. Somewhere old, somewhere new. We journey to your house of invention near the Ormswold. Oh, I know where that is. That's the Royal Society, which is in Albion. So we will next find Mr. Menagerie in London. And now we have a guinea pig in our hold. This one is a tier 3 one. My current one is tier 2. I'll probably just put the bat in my bank. Oh, Sholil, I didn't know you'd also played Cultist Simulator. Is that more of like a management type game? Well, I mean, I guess it probably is if it's a Facebook game on steroids. Those were all also like management games. Okay, here I sell my bronzewood. This is where the money's at. And this might seem a strange choice to people, but I'm also gonna pick up some literature, because literature is actually in high demand in a lot of places, especially in London. So if I just buy it while it's cheap, I can just tuck it away for later and pull it out of my bank when it ends up being, like, needed. My hold's almost full, though. Well, we'll figure it out. My other prospects, I need glass. I need seeds in Eleutheria, and I need... okay. I'm actually gonna circle back around now that I've made this poor decision and drop this shit off in my bank, which I've just been using as storage because I never have enough hold. I'm a little bit of a goblin when it comes to picking up everything that I want. It's a card tableau game with timers, and how you play makes the story. Oh, I see. I might have to look at a video of how it plays, or something. Or maybe just watch the trailer. They'd have that on Steam or something, I imagine. It was, my good friend Zai, of Zyrathan fame, are you shitting me? Get the fuck out of my face. Fuck off. I fart in your general direction. Anyways. Yes, my good friend of Arknight's community fame, rather, introduced me to Fallen London. and its lore and stuff, and I was like, this is so batshit, I kind of love it. So I am in this game, there, in every area, there's always sides you can pick. Which is very important. It determines, like, what kind of side quests you're allowed to do. And, here I've chosen to side with, there's the Windward Company, and there's the pro-independence group called the Tackities, who basically want the Reach, that is this wilderness, to become independent from London rule. And I'm like, yeah, I can support that. Oh, I don't have any port reports right now. I always on instinct go to deliver my port reports to her. That's how you make money in the early game, really, is by basically literally just going around to different ports and writing down what you see there, and then going and taking them to either this lady or the guy at the Windward Company and saying, here, information, intel, give me money. And they give you money. It's not often that I get back to a central port without, my hub, or my fucking armor being damaged. Wow, I really like that they said munitions for the Lustrum mines, and they have the picture of the fucking... I know this is because okay, the Tackities are dominant in the Reach. It's just, I was like, oh, do they want seeds? And then I actually read it. No, they want munitions. I think I have a lot of those, though. Oh, yeah. I got munitions, baby. That's easy. I feel like I should be able to sort this, but I think they don't give you enough storage at Hallages to actually be able to do that. So I'm just not going to worry about it. Just don't worry about it. Just don't even worry about it. What else did I want to do? I'm pretty sure there were other places that were, like, up in a more northerly direction that I wanted to go, but a lot of this, is revolving around me satisfying various prospects and such. I think I had business in the Reach for a bit, in which I was tying up some loose ends here, basically making sure that all these side quests that people wanted me to do, I was doing. But now their side quests are all taking them somewhere else. Oh, except for the Navigator. The Navigator wants to go to the circus and see a tiger, so we're gonna take him to the circus so he can see a tiger. Have I retired a captain successfully yet? No. For context, I first played this game a couple years ago. I think I loved it, but I found it, very difficult, and so eventually I just kind of, like... Eventually, I think something else took over my attention, and so I was like, okay, and started doing other things. But I just came back to it, like, a week ago. And I think I'm kind of like, wow, I think me dying all those times back then was kind of a skill issue, because this shit is not... This is not actually that hard anymore for me. I don't know if I just learned to run from fights I can't win or what, but it's all good now. Anyways, so I never retired a captain then, and now after having gotten back into it, my first captain died, sadly. Fucking Curator got them, which is funny, because I did try to run from that one, actually, and it just kept following me and murdered me badly. But this one, my second one, Captain Cardigan, has been doing remarkably well, and I'm actually most of the way to getting the wealth ambition done. So I just have to find a couple of captivating treasures and become the hero of the New Street Line. At least that's how I want to retire. I would probably be able to retire very easily if I just got the sovereigns for it. But I don't know if I want to do that. Maybe I'll decide to do it later if this shit's taken me too long. I would like to experience a successful retirement, and then try another ambition, perhaps. I usually just listen to stories here. I tend to take, basically any kind of, option that will lower your terror, and the Pulmere and Plenty Circus is a very good place to lower terror. I completed this subquest already. These dudes, they were a circus that just like sucked complete shit, had completely fallen out of repair. Nobody came to see them anymore. Everyone was miserable. And so I brought them the right stuff that they need to spruce up their act, and now they're super popular again, and it's awesome. Um, a traveling circus is settled here, too afraid to go further and too afraid to turn back. Its clanking, gaudy locomotive scavenges such audiences as it can from nearby homesteads and delivers them for an evening of shabby, desperate, big-top magic. The greatest show! That's what the adverts promise. And visitors seem to agree. Cheery calliope music thunders from the big top and through the many polished amusement stands. Such is the lure of the renewed carnival, that people are coming from as far as London itself to partake. Many of them never leave. A small shantytown has been established just outside of the tents where they sit and laugh and plan to return home, just not today. Tomorrow, perhaps, after one more performance. I'm literally so good at my job. I did all that. That was me. So here's my port report. The big top looms dramatically in the fog of the Reach, but it's not nearly as imposing as the massive obelisk floating nearby. Some enterprising soul is hung bunting between it and the big top. As for the circus itself, it thrums with activity. The dock is crammed with vessels from all over the Reach. A few look to have come all the way from Albion. The usher barely has a moment to catch his breath between new arrivals. Wow! And of course, because I did all that, I can get free tickets whenever I want, which I think I will do just because it's a good way to lower terror. But first we're going to ask Miss Peppercorn to show us a tiger. She stands beside a full-length mirror framed in ornately patterned bronze. She is delighted to see you. Do you have the money for the fuel? Weighed, not counted. Miss Peppercorn transfers the coins from one hand to the next. With a wiggle of her fingers, the coins are gone. She basks in the navigator's conspicuous delight. You're all right, you are. She nods towards Alton, once more on the navigator's back. And I've had worse audiences than your grey friend. At least he's not throwing anything. I've surpassed my father, you know, and he could fill Mahogany Hall. She pats the navigator's arm. I'm certainly the only person who could do this as cheaply and with as few accoutrements. In fact, I only need one more thing. She beams and looks at you expectantly. Ask what more Miss Peppercorn needs. The navigator looks decidedly crestfallen. Even the jovial piping of the circus calliope cannot cheer him. Uh-oh. 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 Not a feline fan. I need a cat. I will not catch one for you. She scowls. And once you have one, you better keep an eye on it. I don't like the gossiping little things. They are too fond of scandal to be trustworthy. Another thing about the fallen London setting, cats are also sentient. They can talk, and they love to share secrets, and act like they know more than you because they do. Alright, so the traveling magician requires a cat. Can we catch a dock cat? You can also get... I'm trying to find where to get the useless cat. You can find it at one of the wells, if I remember right. But yeah, you need to get this one and let her borrow it. Or you can just try to get, I wonder what... Catch a dock cat. This isn't a very high chance of success, but surely nothing bad can happen if I fail, right? I have a lot of salon stewed gossip. Oh, failure. Failed that check. Let's see. Oh, at a cost. You order your crew to scour the docks with a fishing net and that rumor about the state of the captivating princess's latest admirer. It is not long before the indignant sound of hissing announces their partial success. They have a cat, but a thoroughly clawed stoker has resigned on the spot. Miss Peppercorn directs a crew member to deposit the thrashing bundle before the mirror. The caught cat only stills when it catches sight of its own reflection. The reflection shows a tiger, sitting among the tatters of a flimsy fishing net. Behind it is a steaming, amber-lit jungle. The tiger claws its way free of the final strands, steps closer. With a scornful yowl, the cat steps into the mirror. The fortunate navigator gasps. Miss Peppercorn beams. It seems that most of them do, but I think it's funny that the inadvisably big dog just doesn't, which means that either dogs do not or do not care to learn how to speak, or the inadvisably big dog is just stupid. Alright, well, one of my crew resigned, but that's okay. I can find more later. I glimpsed a moment in Parabola where every cat is a big cat. Interesting. Well, we showed our buddy what he wanted to see, at least. What wonders await us this evening? The big top is filled. The audience chatters in anticipation. When the lights dim and the ringmaster is drawn into the center ring on his horse-drawn calliope, singing of the night's delights, the applause is rapturous. Then come the acts. The magician appears suddenly from a puff of smoke, dazzling the crowd with his many amazing devices. The acrobatic twins swing from their trapeze, figures of perfect symmetry as they go back and forth. The pensive clown is heralded by his comedic geese, Cuddles and Ruffles, who march in their finery before him. They honk as he juggles them, and the audience collapses into laughter. The strong woman asks the crowd if they brought anything for her to lift. They cheer as a group of 10 attendees struggle to wheel out a wagon full of crates and barrels. Not only does she lift all of them in turn, she overturns the wagon single-handedly at the end to rapturous applause. We get some handy little stories there, too. So it's nice to do every once in a while. The standards have improved since we first visited. No shit. They got more money to get better snacks, I guess. Uh-oh. Our dogs also have not learned human speech, but they have things to say regardless. You and your crew spend several hours enjoying... Oh shit! The 12-month streak, baby! Hello, Skills, and thank you so much for the resub. Wow. That's a lot of subs that you've given me. I much appreciate it. And I hope you're doing well. How was your Wednesday? You and your crew spend several hours enjoying the offerings of the newly revitalized circus. The strong woman salutes you, effortlessly supporting a heavy bar with the other hand. The urchin at the drink stand gives you a drink with probably no spit in it at all. By the time your ticket expires, your crew is considerably more relaxed. Yippee! Alright, so we could go behind the tents. I don't think there's anything that we actually need to do there. One funny little thing about the circus is that it's kind of implied that, like, because there's an obelisk here, as you can see in this, background of the scene. It's an ancient relic, and it has, like, a cosmic pull that draws people to it and makes them want to join the circus. Which I think is a very funny little tidbit. Just popping in to say hi, but your Wednesday's been pretty good. Well, I'm glad to hear it, and thank you for stopping by, and once again, for subbing. Enjoy it while it lasts, baby. I'm going to be, I don't know when I'm gonna do my affiliate send-off stream, but it's probably gonna be, actually, I might make it, I don't know when I'll make it. It will be, I will probably have, separate streams, for the graduation, and then, a couple weeks prior for, like, getting rid of affiliate. Because beyond the fact that I won't be able to stream as often, oh my god, they are yelling so loud. Sorry, I don't know what their problem is. And also my door is open. I could go close it. I could go close it if it's, like, too loud that anybody can't hear me talk or can't hear, like, what's going on in the game, but if it doesn't bother anybody else, then I won't bother. It just distracts me. I should do one when I get my assignment. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going yet, but I probably will. Probably shortly after I get my assignment is when I'll chuck off affiliate, because as much as I greatly appreciate the monetary support, first of all, I don't want people to continue to pay for something that I'm not really going to be doing as often or as consistently anymore. Yeah, you guys fight that out. I'm not. I don't have time for that. Um, so I won't be doing it as consistently anymore after July. And, I don't want people to pay for that. I also hate that, I hate that half my money goes to Twitch so that people don't have to watch ads, which Twitch forces onto my stream to begin with, by the way. Like, if you're affiliate, you can't just choose to turn off ads forever. No. Twitch makes you run them regardless of whether you want them to or not, and then pays you fractions of pennies for their runtime based on how many viewers are in your stream. It's so... I don't like Twitch as a company. I just don't. But this is the easiest way for me to stream, so... An overgrown shrine. Oh yeah, Carillon is where the devils basically run... It's like a cross between a sanatorium and a spa, at least that's how they describe it. This is where people go to get their souls refined. They take particular punishments to, purify their souls. It's very interesting, very bizarre. Carillon's foyer. Gray stone, the color of a monastery. Attending devils and devilesses dressed in uniform. And an incoming parade of the sick, the friendless, the dying, and those who think their lives would be better if only they were something else. This is Carillon, where souls are refined into something more impressive. So you can write a port report. The penitents come from all corners of the high wilderness. Someone will want to hear of their comings and goings. You take some notes on a pilgrim's journey through Carillon. The first port of call is the beehive-shaped office in the center, or more accurately, the long queue leading into it. From there, the infernal attendants direct them to one of Carillon's 7 gardens to undergo penances. They certainly look penitent by the time they emerge. Presumably their souls are much improved, not that you can tell. Alright, so the presiding deviless. She's an artisan of souls. Perhaps she can do something with yours. Perhaps she'll just offer you advice. Better arrangement on a different platform. Oh, that's all good. I mean, I'm still gonna use Twitch when I stream in the future. I'm just getting rid of affiliate. I'm not gonna monetize my streams anymore, mainly for the reason that since I'm moving at the end of July to Japan, I'm going to the other side of the world. It's gonna be a weird time zone, and I'm gonna be too busy to stream that often. So if I'm not doing it consistently, I don't want people to sub to me. You know, it makes it feel like their money's kind of being wasted. Especially because for the emotes and stuff, I have ways of making it so that people can use those, even without subbing to me. Don't tell Twitch, though. Tee-hee-hee-hee-hee-hee. Alright. The presiding deviless works in an office shaped like a beehive, a stone and wickerwork building that stands all alone in the middle of Carillon's central courtyard. She conducts intake interviews with new patients, one by one. After a long time in line, you reach her at last. Greetings, Captain. How may we stretch, strain, purify, and strengthen you now that you've come to Carillon? This is just where you ask her about things, mostly. You can provide an exquisite insight. You need one of every kind of penance, though. Which I don't... There are a couple of gardens that I've not been able to access because you actually need your soul to be fucked up in a specific kind of way if you want to access them. So if you go around, travel around Carillon. There they go again. First, let me visit an overgrown shrine. The path leads you to a broken statue, seemingly ignored by the devils of Carillon except for whoever placed the freshly lit candles at its feet. But the face is poorly carved, but its features unmistakable. The burrower below stares at you through one gemstone eye and an empty socket. So this is one of the capricious gods whose favor you have to worry about incurring here in this area. There's always outer gods to worry about in cosmic horror stuff. You know how it is. I'm not gonna steal from her because I'm a little bit scared of invoking wrath when I'm doing this well in a playthrough. Finding the peace. While the statue is the raw material of nightmares, there is something soothing about the idea that even a beast like this might be harnessed, that there is a chance of such an ally for those who crack the code of offerings and prayer. Whether it is actually listening, it is impossible to tell. The thought that it even might, however, is something to hold on to in the dark. And that makes your terror fall, which is nice. Carillon is broken into terraces where most of the soul treatments take place. Some are easier to access than others. So my soul, I think I purged all the flaws from my soul at the moment, so I can't visit these 3 gardens. You need particular flaws to access those. Um, but I can access any of these 4. I don't actually need any punishments at the moment, but let's see. What would probably be the easiest one to get? Enlightenment is usually like the easiest choice. What ones do I already have? I can look at my possessions. You can actually see, I think, what port reports, favor, ambition. I don't know where my penances went. I was pretty sure I had some. Anyways. So I don't think I need any of these at the moment, because the only ones, if I look at my journal, there are a couple of penitents that you can help by paying their penances for them. But these ones, for assisting one of these penitents, I can't even access that area at the moment because my soul is just too sparkly clean. Oh well, it is what it is. And they don't have a bargain on anything that I actually want. It's a little bit difficult going around this stretch because I have to remember that the only place down here that sells fuel is Lustrum. And that's going to be where we go next. It's also very cold looking. But I do like the more icy looking environments in this game. I think they're pretty. Although, I haven't been to the Blue Kingdom yet, so maybe this is me talking too early. But I think that Eleutheria is probably my favorite of the areas in this game, aesthetically speaking. It is just very nice to look at. Of course, there are many parts of it that are also dark and scary and full of things that want to kill you. But it's like, you know, it's fine. I manage. I think I've actually, you know, I was thinking about it and I realized I think I've gotten all the companions that I can except the fatalistic signalman, who I just never ended up finding for some reason. He usually hangs out at one of these remnants of the Isambard line, which was intended to be like, you know, stations for travelers in the Reach, and they just kind of fell into disrepair. Yeah, I haven't found him anywhere. I have in previous runs, but nope, not here. Now we go to Lustrum. I hear some splatting noises. Hash brown, what do you want? What the fuck is that? Oh, that's a tussle. I'm not worried about that. That's not my business. Hash brown! Hash brown! Hash brown! No. Keep your face out of my water. He's mad because it's almost his dinner time and I haven't fed him yet. Hash brown. Hash brown. Okay. Momentarily free of hash brown and his mischief. Always found it striking that the area around Lustrum is just always dark as fuck for no reason. Sometimes I have to make sure I'm going the right way because it almost looks for a bit like you're just not going anywhere. But that's okay. Here we are. Another thing is that I have to sometimes keep myself from running into places when I try to dock. Prospector's Quarter. The frantic, hustling heart of Lustrum, crammed with prospectors, peddlers, and purveyors of essential and occasionally legal services. Most business takes place here unless you're a dreamer seeking your fortune on the claim fields. So this was supposed to be a retirement town that basically got the equivalent of a gold rush, and now everybody's here trying to mine ours and get rich off of them. I did a bit of mining myself, but I didn't need, like, a ton. I have, honestly, more consistent ways of making money. The mountain sings. Wind whistles through the mountain's caves, promising good luck to the miners below. They raise their tankards and toast the fortunate promises. I'll join the celebration because this is... Wait, no, I need to recruit crew! I need to recruit crew because one of them quit over getting scratched up by a cat. A few broke miners are not celebrating. They have already lost everything. Many come to Lustrum to make their fortune. Most leave poorer for the attempt. A few are willing to sign up with you, hoping for profits beyond the next horizon. A warm bunk at the very least. Well, we got one guy on board. That's fine. Let's see. Bargains available. Did I not accept the prospect to take munitions to... You gotta be shitting me. Oh, I am so genius. I guess I didn't. Silly me. Teehee does a cute little bonk on my head like an anime girl. That's fine. That really only inconveniences me in the end. So... what was briefly a modest, pleasant town on the mother of mountains now runs on increasingly desperate dreams of riches. Huh? Tehepero? Local gay dog goes, Eto, bleh. That's right. Also, hello and welcome, J-Snake. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Let's see. Fools sell their futures for the chance to mine years from the mountain's frozen sides. Sharper minds sell pickaxes, supplies, and the promise of a warm bed at the end of a bitter day's work. Oh, that's what I didn't know that. I didn't know that was the term for that. Yeah, tehepero. I didn't know they had a specific word for it. Yep, that's what I'm doing. You can imagine that. Having a good Wednesday? Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. We're all having a good chill Wednesday. I did, like, no work with myself today. And I'm saying streaming is just all I'm gonna do today, really. Sometimes you need a day off in the middle of the week. But don't tell my boss that, because I'm still logging my hours. Wink. Hours are the new gold in Albion and the Reach. While Lustrum's fortunes remain, it is of interest to many. So much for the quiet retirement village that used to be here. The rush of prospectors has ripped the civility from the place as efficiently as the geodes from the mountainside. The scars that remain are no less vivid. Fewer and fewer prospectors return with geodes of hours, and the cost of processing them off-site grows every day. Still, for now, Lustrum thrives and offers the promises of riches for any lucky or industrious miner willing to come and risk everything in the snow and the mud. You definitely did not finally come to one of my streams after following my Tumblr for literal years. Uh-oh. You've seen me for years. Uh-oh. I don't know. I feel like I've seen your URL somewhere. Maybe I have. But in that case, welcome. I do not blame people who follow me for not being like, I don't feel like watching a stream. Because streams aren't everyone's thing, you know? And everybody's busy. I feel like in the past few years, streaming has become a rougher time. Hash Brown, get out from in front of my camera. Streaming has become a rougher time for both streamers and viewers because, streamers have less time to stream, and then they have less of an audience when they do stream because a lot of people don't have the time to watch streamers anymore because they're all busy and have to do in-person work instead of remote work like a few years ago. I'm lucky to have a remote job, personally, but that's of course going to change after July. Alright, so there's a lot of places we can visit here, and I'm trying to see if there's anything that's actually worth doing. I don't think that there really is, except I can visit, I could visit the tea shop, but I don't really, I mean, it's an okay way to reduce terror. Let's see. Mostly, I'm just gonna go back to, I'll just go back up to New Winchester, and then we'll do a quick run back and forth. I don't usually like doing that, but I feel very silly for not accepting that prospect because it was a highly profitable one. I was literally just sitting on those munitions not doing anything. Oh, this shit. You are not where you thought you were. The sky is wrong. This is not where you were meant to be. Was it a trick of the mists? Has a wind carried you astray? Have the heavens themselves turned on their axis? So this is basically you either spend fuel or, do a check to see if you're able to find your way back to familiar skies. This is a really stupid thing to get hit with when you're literally pulling out of port, though. You would not believe how many times I've gotten this prompt when I'm pulling out of port or pulling into port. Like, I know where I am. I was just in a port 5 seconds ago. Anyway, I'm just gonna do this because, all we're doing is going back up to New Winchester. I'm not trying to invoke any god's wrath this run, because I want to see what it feels like to win. You can do very interesting things, narratively speaking, if you're willing to sabotage yourself a little bit, or if you're willing to risk a lot, but I feel like the closer I've gotten to victory in this run, the less willing I've been to do just that. So, oh boy! I can mine this. Yeah, baby. What do you mean I should have heated the store? You know how it goes. I know in Sunless Sea there's an option to go to an altar of the sea gods and just like desecrate it, like spit on it and renounce the gods. And it's like, you know, it raises your stats but can cause trouble for you later. I think that's a really interesting option to do, but I don't know if I ever did it myself. I might go back to Sunless Sea, but I want to get the Submariner DLC, which I never got. Because it looks like fun. Underwater spiders. Hash Brown, I will be with you in a moment. My cat, that is a Hash Brown moment right there. He's upset. Oh, I think I already mentioned. It's almost his dinner, so he really likes to make himself super inconvenient. Okay, thank you. Yes, I see you. Get your butt out of my face. By walking all over my desk and getting up in my space and rubbing himself on my mic. He's doing that right now. Do you have anything you'd like to say to the viewers, sir? Okay, he's getting in my lap. We have calmed the little beastie for a time. For as long as I have one hand available to pet him, that will probably remain the case. But in probably like 10-15 minutes or so, I will just get up and take a quick break to feed my cats. Because they get to be little whiny. Little whiny babies. If I'm even a minute late, or what they think is late for their dinner. Or really, you could say if I'm 15 minutes early instead of an hour early. Because it's usually about an hour before their designated dinner time that I will start getting very, very sad, plaintive cries from a certain potato ingot over here. All failbetter stuff has a through line of this way lies narrative, but it will hurt somewhere. Seeking oh god, Seeking the Name. I've heard about that one. I still don't actually know the details of that quest because people, I mean, that's one of those things that the developers have asked people, yeah, let people find it for themselves if they want to risk it all. Don't say what it actually is. And people have been good about that because I haven't been able to find specific info on it anywhere. I just know it is a cruel, cruel side quest that basically permanently disables your character in some way. Don't know how, but I mean, God, they really want you to risk it all for the lore. And so one of my future runs, maybe early on I'll start risking things more for the lore, but the farther I get into a given run, the less I'm willing to risk it, because then I start getting attached, and I'm like, well, I've already come this far. I don't want to have to do all that over again. And so, I don't. I feel pretty confident in my chances here, especially because I know where I could negotiate for at least one captivating treasure. And if I get a couple of those and smuggle a couple more new street line passengers, I'm basically set for the retirement that I want to have. Okay, let's see. I don't think there's anything I need to do here. We are in New Winchester. I need fuel. We'll do that. Damn, I got money. When did I get so much money? Put these away. Now, bazaar. Munitions! Here we go. Oh my... Are y'all serious? Lustrum wants munitions times 2. And what do you know? I have exactly 9 plus 5 munitions to bring to Lustrum. So let me make sure I actually claim these this time. Oh, hold up. This one has been kind of a thorn in my side for a bit. I'm just gonna abandon it. And I'll grab this one. It renders your Fallen London character unplayable. Yeah, that's what I figured. Like you really sacrifice everything. Risk it for the biscuit, as they say. Okay, I can't hold this much. We'll just do that for now. And go in with my big fat load. Hash brown! Hush. Hush brown. Hush puppy. You are a little pain in my butt, you know that? Get out from in front of my... Hash brown. Hash brown, you naughty thing. Go. Shoo. At some point, this cat is gonna get me killed, I swear to God. Not in real life. You know what I mean. Well, maybe in real life. He would be the thing that draws the zombies to me in the zombie apocalypse because he's angry about missing his dinner. Or mad at me that I won't open the window. Or take him outside. I don't let him outside unsupervised for reasons that I would think are obvious. Excuse me, sir. Okay, he's in my lap again. Can we just chill here for a minute? Can we just chill for a sec? I can imagine that seeking Mr. Eaton's name would also just be like... If you had invested a lot of time into your Fallen London character, that would be like, oh, this sucks. Theoretically, you could make a new one, but I wouldn't want to go to, like... If I had put a lot of trouble into the first character, then, you know, then it would be a blow, which is the point, you know? The point is that it sucks, and, is a choice that you don't really, like, want to make. Unless you're willing to give up everything. No hash brown. And then I think after this... Oh my god. Fuck you people. Discontent. An engineer cries out, her voice hoarse as a professional mourner. It's gone! She points through one of the stained glass windows. A star! It winked out! You look through the glass. Stars burn upon the firmament. The specific patch of sky she's pointing to is indeed empty, but you couldn't say if a star had been there before. So I don't have a very high I don't have a very high chance of either of these, and I don't want to risk my crew. Now you might say, Corky, you're almost out of supplies. Well, it's a problem for future me. The prospect of brandy provokes a ragged cheer. Soon the crew have rosy faces and broad smiles. Your locomotive resounds to a lusty, if approximate, rendition of How the Zailers Lost Their Z's. No one looks out of the windows, though. No one looks at the stars. I'm almost at Lustrum. We can make it. We're totally fine. We're totally all good. Everything is... Oh, oops. Ah! Don't worry about it. I can take it. I can take it. My hull is so strong. It is so strong. Get out of here. So there's the stars in Fallen London are, basically gods called judgments. So, you know, there's stars, but they're not like stars. And the primary star of this solar system in the Reach is dead. Oh my god, will you stop getting in my fucking way? These guys, like, get all up in my business and then get mad at me for being here, like it's my fault. Librarian warfare. I've killed a few scribe spinsters. They're not that difficult to deal with, but it's like... Brother, I have places to be. I have things to sell. And no time for you. Okay, so let me park here real quick. Rip the Garden King. Shut the hell up, dude. Okay, I'm gonna... Also, hi, Ree. I'm gonna... You guys babysit chat or whatever for me. I'm gonna, hop away for just a second to feed my cat so he stops fucking bothering me. Be right back. You are so irritating. You know that? Okay. Hash brown moment averted. Hash brown crisis averted. Let's see. Okay. One of the only stars that wasn't a total bastard. He left those light plants around instead of being a dick about his life. For comparison, Sol personally tries to kill people who bottle sunlight. Yeah, most of the judgments are total dicks. And it seems like the ones who weren't are already dead. Because nothing good can ever happen in this game to good people. Part of the fun, you know? Alright, so we're selling all this shit. Boom! And now I have an unlicensed chart. Yippee! Whoa! Look at my experience total! That's such a good number. double the... Wait! I love when this happens. They have munitions available on a bargain at the same place that they're on demand. So if I didn't have munitions already, I could just buy them here and then sell them at the same port. I think it's so silly when that happens. Alright. So, another W for the Tackities. I don't have any further business here, but I do definitely want to buy some supplies and such. One more just to be safe. And then I think I'll go... What are my prospects? I know at some point I do want to visit, Magdalene's, and I do want to, there is something I need to do at Trader's Wood, but that's not for a bit. Let me double check things. Because I'm pretty sure that most of the stuff that I need to do now is over in London. So I actually think I can probably just go up to Port Prosper. What do I have on the way there? Like, I would like to be able to sell my glass and stuff, but... Or sell glass, rather. Experiment grade glass for Titania. Good things happened, but the people who experienced those good things got beaten up, and then the memories of those experiences taken out of their still living skulls or something. Yeah, that's really what it's like. Oh yeah, at the start of the game we were running from a star. Yeah, I hear that the Blue Kingdom star is the worst. So visiting the Blue Kingdom later is definitely going to be fun. I might try to capture that experience on stream. I think I think we need Visions of the Heavens to get a visa for that or something. Or a travel permit, whatever you call it. The one that killed the Garden King is worse. Okay. I do not remember... I don't know if I've found out at any point in this game. Get off me! There's a rubble on my engine. I don't know if I have at any point in this game actually found out who killed the Garden King. Okay, you can get mad at me for mining your hours, but I'm not trying to fight you. The Hour of the Wolf. It is late and you are alone. Doubts prey on you. Is this the path you should have taken? You trespass upon the precincts of heaven. What price will be exacted of you? What price have you already paid? So I can try to perform a check, or I can turn once more to the bottle because I have the alcoholic trait. This will increase my nightmares, but increasing to my 1 isn't going to be, like, horrible. So... You remember little. You slept, certainly. You wept, you think. You wake on the floor, a blanket tangled about your legs. Your shift is about to begin. As you make yourself ready, you try to ignore the persistent tremor in your hands. Taking on more nightmares, generally speaking, is better than letting your terror get to 100. You don't want that to happen. It's very funny to me that, like, in Sunless Sea, you can, like, buy and sell, Judgment Souls. Under the table, of course. And then, you know, they actually show you the approximation of what the judgments look like here in Skies, and you're like, oh, you mean a soul from, like, the sun? The sun in the fucking sky? You guys are trading souls from the suns in the fucking sky? People will just do anything in this game. I appreciate that it isn't the instant over that full terror is in Sunless Sea, but it still sucks. Yeah, I can imagine. I actually haven't let myself get to 100 terror in this game. I think I did in Sunless Sea and was like, oh, well, rip. Not doing that again. They give you an achievement for it, which I think is really funny. People will literally buy anything. England will literally colonize anything. They colonized the sun in the fucking sky. They replaced it with a machine that is turning people into glass. No, I know that's a different sun. Yeah, I figure that the sun in like the actual, you know, the solar system we know is still fine. But now we're like way out in far-flung lands, or I guess I should say far-flung space. Alright, gonna... it doesn't really need repairs, but we'll just pay a little bit to get the chips off it. And then I need to... Let's hire some crew, because 10 out of 14, I could use a couple more hands. We entered a door underneath the surface of the Earth, and it led to outer space, nowhere near our star. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I said towards the beginning of the stream that, like, I've accepted that nothing in this game makes any sense at all. Like, you know, it's fine. It's fine. Just don't worry about it. Okay, prospects be damned. I'm just gonna abandon this one. I'm partway through this one, though. I'm just gonna, abandon my current prospect and go to London, because I have the most business there. Yeah, there's a storybook logic to everything. That's a good way of putting it. Like, it just works because it works. It's presented as a very matter of fact, so you don't have to think about it. The causes and effects are very clear, just not what you'd expect. That's right. Which I appreciate about it. The story it just works because it has to. Todd Howard voice, it just works. Alright, so we'll go up to Port Prosper, make sure we don't have anything really to do there, and then go up a little further to the Albion, relay. Albion. Why did I say it like that? Albion. I'll be honest. I'll be honest, gamers. Space kind of fucking sucks. But not in the way that it's a vacuum, because in this game it's not a vacuum. Because physics isn't real. As in, it's not a real body of study. God, these things are ugly as fuck. I'll be honest, Empress Victoria. What do you mean I burned my face off by reading that book? What do you mean there's nothing of consequence in the giant monster-infested sea under the earth? What do you mean the sun had a child with a space crab supermarket? Don't worry about it. The English managed to colonize physics, you're right. I don't know how they did it. You could almost commend them for it, but I will never commend the English for anything, because I'm Irish. This will not solve Space England's declining birth rate. Oh, hey, check this out over here. Coughed up a lung. That feels like something that could happen in a literal sense in this game. The memorial to the unknown rat. We must respect the rats. I brought with me a couple of, they're not strictly cake pops because they're not on sticks. That's right, 07's in the chat for the unknown rat. Everyone put 07 in the chat or you're banned. Hold on, was there something over here that I would want? Oh yeah, I can get a little something something here. They're not strictly cake pops because they don't have sticks. They're just cake pops without sticks. But, you know, cake pops in spirit, you know? They taste like cake pops, which are better by miles than actual cake. Why? It's a mystery. Respect our troops. Rat is favor. That's right. The only troops I respect. Settlers who live so far beyond the edge of civilization. The smaller the cake, the tastier. That sounds right. Okay, pardon my chewing. Settlers who live so far beyond the edge of civilization relish the hardships of solitude. They will fiercely defend their small territories, but occasionally welcome company and trade. This homestead is plated in a patchwork of corrugated iron. As you land, the barrel of a rifle pokes out from a boarded window and fires, kicking up a spray of grass at your feet. How unfriendly! Fuck you. Return fire. That was only a partial success. Your rounds ring off the house's iron skin and find the gaps between its makeshift plates. There is an agonized scream, a spray of blood, the sound of a gun's chamber locking. They must be on the verge of surrender, surely. Then you smell burning. Someone's lit the setting ablaze. A door slams. You can see figures running through the smoke. We'll just try to salvage stuff here. You take a handful of stokers, whose lungs are used to smoke, and hurtle into the smoldering homestead. Posters of Tackety Jack blacken and peel from the walls. Ramshackle leather roofing crackles like sausages in a frying pan. An intrepid stoker dares the fire-choked kitchen, and emerges black-faced but laden with barely charred provisions. Yippee! Normally it's a like complete success there, but for some reason you can get a partial success on a check like that, even with 100% of passing it, which I think is kind of funny. And by funny I mean kind of stupid. Stupid. I always find those homesteads the funniest ones to encounter, because they remind me so much of, like, the culture of the American South, where people have, like, their "Don't Tread on Me" signs up alongside signs that basically all but directly state they're gonna shoot you if you trespass. Very much common around here. People love to let people know that they have guns, and they will use them. Not complimentary, by the way. I think that's a really bizarre and, like, not great attitude to have. But, you know. Ah! See? This happens to me all the time. But I've gotten a little bit better at it most of the time. You know, it occurred to me just now that I probably, I probably should abstain from shoving something in my mouth right as I'm about to get to a part where I'm gonna read. But here we have, let's see what we can stock up on. Balance in all things. Okay, the Queen's Cross Station. Crammed at the feet of a hulking crag, Port Prosper is a little London, divided into an affluent West End and an impecunious East. Queen's Cross is a busy station, crowded with engines that have arrived through the nearby transit relay from Albion. So when you explore Port Prosper, usually you get an option to do several things. Its narrow streets huddle in the shadow of a great crag. Banners display the stony features of her renewed majesty. That's Queen Victoria, by the way. Wealthy West Enders strut by, exchanging polite greetings and veiled gossip, while sooty East End workers file to the hour refining factories. Peeling posters promise fresh, wholesome lives in the Reach to new arrivals, but most of the posters are years old. More newcomers arrive at Port Prosper than ever leave it. So, we write a port report. The factories continue to belch out smoke, while over the bridge, hopeful crowds gather outside the Admiral Nelson. Lovers can be seen strolling arm in arm along the promenade at a respectable distance from their chaperones. There was a brief protest outside the Windward Company factory, swiftly quelled. The scones at the Nelson were as good as ever, though the piquancy of the jam was less than might be desired. Am I with the revolutionaries? Fuck yeah, I am. I'm trying to become a hero to the New Street Line. Oh, you mean the revolutionaries here? Well, yeah, I am with them too. I think it's very funny to compare them to the USA because the US would already exist at this point in time, and there's just no mention of America ever anywhere to be found. Because London is much more concerned with the politics of the entities that it is directly interacting with, and America's just not one of them. So you never hear about anything regarding the US. I think it's really funny. Barely a mention of India either, yeah. So we can take tea at the Admiral Nelson. The most famous cafe in all Port Prosper is open today. The Admiral Nelson is Port Prosper's most exclusive tea house. West Enders congregate here to sit amongst the many little tables of ornamental shepherds and bulldogs and drink tea from little saucers with Her Renewed Majesty's face on them. The Admiral Nelson is so exclusive, in fact, that it opens only occasionally and never does anything so crass as advertise. People know by word of mouth, initially at least. Afterwards, most Prosperans join the queue. London disappeared off of the face of the earth. Well, London just fell under the earth, yeah. So they wouldn't really have, because there's a way back up to the surface, but it's difficult to traverse. So, like, they don't, like, yeah, they could know what the US is up to, but why would they care when they're worried about, keeping relations with everything else? The rest of the British Empire kept existing, yeah. They had to maintain contact with them somehow, but then it's like, you know, they go off into space, and I guess they kind of stop worrying about what's going on in the Neath and on Earth. Oh well. Don't even worry about it. Alright, I'm gonna sneak tea cakes for the porters. A few East End staff are kept on retainer for the less rarefied requirements of the Nelson's running. You cram a few dozen small cakes into a bag and make a quick exit out the back. The porters are exceedingly grateful. It's considered impolite to tip these days, according to the new etiquette books. One grumbles through a mouthful of scone. Hardly make enough to pay off the uniform. A few stolen and discarded pieces of crockery exchange hands. Last season's. Too modern for the Nelson. Yeah. They're a lot more worried about devils, like, from the biblical hell, and also the underground bat people, and also Mongolia is underground too, and they have to, you know, try to maintain a tentative truce with them. There's a lot going on. Okay, so we're delivering. This is just a way to get a little bit of extra money. So I could offer transport to settlers. I'm not going to do that, because we are going to leave this area. I think I've got the stuff that I need. I think. I'm pretty sure they make you... Actually, I might have forgotten to bring hours. I don't think I can travel... I don't think I have the ability to travel first class here. We're gonna see if I forgot anything. 2 barrels of unseasoned hours. Yeah, I don't have that. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure you can just get them from people who sell them at a drastically inflated rate. But I don't care because I'm rich. A stone edifice, scintillant with sigils, is encased in a contrivance of steel and brass. This is a Singh-Jenkins relay, allowing transport via a loophole in some cosmic mandate across the sunless wastes to a far-flung district of heaven. This one leads to Albion, the heart of the new British Empire and the seat of Her Renewed Majesty, Queen Victoria. So, I can present them. Oh wait, I have a ministry-stamped permit. I could just travel first class. Okay, well, I can find more ministry permits in Albion if I need them. A pinch-faced inspector boards the ship with their retinue. Come on, hurry up. If you've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to fear. Their mouth cracks into something almost but not entirely like a smile. Nothing from me, at least. It's fine. I don't have anything. A clean sweep. The pinch-faced inspector looks almost disappointed at having to give you a clean bill of passage. Such a waste of time, they mutter, stamping the customs form. Go on. No reason to take up space here. Alright. Your business here is concluded. We are moving on. I have paperwork, so I can travel first class. The burrower below is displeased with you. What did I do? Why is she mad at me? At the sight of your papers, the superintendent jumps to activate the relay. Its hour looms rumble, spinning the pocket of new time in which your locomotive will make the journey. Wrapped in your engine's new code of hours, it will be hard to say how long the journey takes. But the hours used by Imperial officials are languid and seasoned. The passage should be at least tolerable. The machinery grinds and stirs. The steam vents. The sigils of the edifice burn with sullen fire. A force like a great hand seizes your engine. Fucking pissed off the Dragon Mill. Fuck my entire life. What is the point anymore? Teleportation! She doesn't like if you use them a lot. Well, fucking sorry. I have places to be. That's interesting, though. I didn't know that. Alright, so we have several things to do in London. Let's stop by the work world first. First time I used a transit relay, I was pogging out of my gourd. I was like, that's so cool. It is still pretty cool. Never gets old. This is where they force the poor to labor, literally giving up their youths in service of making sure that rich people have more time to spend alive and healthy. This isn't even a metaphor anymore, honestly. We land in the bit between. The officials of Brabazon never bothered to formally name this waypoint. Captains dock here to pick up goods or deliver workers. It is not a place to linger because of the proximity to the accelerated time of the work world. So the way the work world is that time is designed. It's basically inside a field where time goes faster so that work can be done faster. So they live inside a pocket of time where, like, you know, they do their work in a way that makes it so everybody gets the result of it faster, but also, you know, they're living out their whole lives basically in pockets of time where they're aging faster than everyone outside, which is fucked up. Seizure of hours, nostalgic crockery. I don't need all that. Why do I even... When did I... Oh yeah, at Port Prosper. I don't need that though. Okay, so I don't, this is where you can you can recruit new crew. I don't need to do that right now. Brabazon Workworld, the first workworld to be established in Albion. Working here, debtors can escape prison. They remain till their debts are repaid and a ticket away has been funded. The primary industry is hours processing, which has the side effect of accelerating time on the Workworld surface. The dock is between Brabazon Workworld and Little Nice, where the more privileged overseers reside. The dock is, for Captain's sake, nearer Little Nice than the Workworld. Unexpected aging could deter even the greediest captain from arriving. So I can travel to Little Nice. The governor of Brabazon Workworld resides in the picturesque village at the far end of the bit between. Thick double doors separate the bit between from Little Nice. The fresh air of this pretty village is in sharp contrast to that near the dock. So I could converse with the governor. I think this is a good way to lower your terror for a little bit. The grass is immaculately cut. The hedges are trimmed. Stars burn silver above. But it is hard to ignore the thunder of the hour looms, spinning their knot of hurrying time over the workworld below. I don't want to talk with the governor, about whatever his request is, because I don't care about them. Fuck you guys. Workers of the world, rise up. Okay. So, last time I was here, I actually talked to a leader of people who, a leader of, aspiring revolutionaries. They want to stage a revolution in this work world. Throw off their chains, and I wholeheartedly support it. So we're gonna see where this takes us. They mention an overseer who is, supportive of this. So let's see. You'll be able to change your mind, or this will take you straight to the hideout of the revolutionaries. Yeah. I might as well just signal them. The cape sliding off their left shoulder, the hair tied just so, the not remotely discreet eyebrow raise whenever you meet their eye. They match the description the revolutionaries gave you. They demand a complicated handshake before they'll hand you a carriage clock. Same deal as on the tour. I stole you a pocket of time, myself. Make good use of it. As they turn to smile innocently at another overseer, they shove you towards a maintenance hatch. Get through there, and someone will take you the rest of the way. Alright, so we still want to ask how we can... Let's talk to him first. Alright. We have heard of your generosity. He pumps your hand. His grin is wry. And as we know, the reward for generosity is to be asked to be more generous still. You've seen the conditions here. This is the lot of the unfortunate, not the deserving. Brabazon is at peace. Workers respect their lot in life, but they shouldn't. I want you to help us fight back, and secure better conditions for everyone who is sent here. He pats the faintly bearded youth on the back. We have the will and the strength, but lack something you have in abundance. Freedom. We need provisions and materials. We need someone who can smuggle them in. One of the overseers in the bit between believes in the cause. He describes the overseer to you. They will help you in and out. So, how do we assist? Provide blackmail material. Okay. So you can give them tea, and you can also give them blackmail material. Okay. I have 2 savage secrets. I can give you those. The reverberant activist listens closely to the information you bring him. His eyebrows raise. Yes, this I can use. Okay. So, I'm gonna have to remember to bring savage secrets and tea. It's good as currency. The leader is immersed in his maps and plans when you leave. The faintly bearded youth seems unsure if he should stay or escort you out. He settles for a weak wave. Alright, I can explore. I'm gonna return to the bit between. By the time you're back at the bit between, your shoulders are covered with with orange soot. An overseer extends a soft brush to clean you off. Alright, actually one way we can get tea, this is gonna be really funny. You can exchange gossip with the governor for tea. I'm gonna do that and then give the tea to the workers because I think it would be funny. It's a pleasure to see you. How are you enjoying Little Nice? Have you visited Brabazon proper yet? We've been doing marvelous work there. He doesn't give you much room to speak. I have a single tea. I can come back later for more, but right now I'm not worried about it, because I have an almost full load anyway. Alright. So that's all I think I want to do here for now, and then I want to go to... I have several things to take care of in London, so we're just going to head there first off. Nyum. I think that, like, I don't dislike Albion, so to speak, but it is a lot harder to navigate. There's a lot more little nooks and crannies and alleyways and things you can run into. And of course, there's also more things that want to kill you than there are in the Reach. There's even more in Eleutheria, but I like the vibe of Eleutheria, so, like, it's fine. But this is definitely, like, industrial London. Industrial Victorian Edwardian London. Which is probably why it's probably supposed to invoke, like, a sense of, like, ugh, this place fucking sucks. But, you know. A windswept habitation. The enterprise of Albion does not rest. Its skies are littered with abandoned construction, derelict factories from its earliest foundation, homes that have yet to be lived in, workshops for industries that proved irrelevant in the heavens. Here stands a chimneyed factory dating to Albion's foundation, and long since abandoned to the rats and the mold. I don't need to repair my hull, but... organize a search party. Most of the factory has been picked clean by scavengers, but something of value may remain behind locked doors or beneath fallen rubble. Yeah, I'll do that. What's this? Hidden beneath a tarpaulin in a dripping cellar is a smuggler's cache. Firkins of red honey stamped with the mark of the Midnight Rose. Whoo! I have not, been carrying contraband with me. I think I would rather gain experience. Because I've not gotten the quest line that will get you, like, in with the smugglers. I've not really explored that avenue, and I don't want to make trouble for myself right now, so we're just gonna leave it. You adjust the tarpaulin to leave it exactly as you found it, close the cellar door, and repair the lock as best you can. No one should know you were here. Damn, only 100 experience, though. Little tidbits. Red honey is heavy stuff. The way they make it, like... When I was going through that quest line in Sunless Sea, I was like, this is so fucked up. What the actual hell? The most fucked up thing I think you can do in Sunless Sea, and you can make a lot of really bad choices in that game, but I think one of the most fucked up things you can do is, like, sell out one of your companions. Sell out one of your companions to, basically the red honey harvesters. So that he gets, like, you know, he's basically stuck there so they can harvest honey from him. It's so fucked up. Red honey is like if cocaine was made from human corpses. I would say a more accurate description would be like if cocaine was made from... If cocaine was made from, like, body parts of people that they couldn't get back... but they had to be harvested while they were still alive. That's what it's more like. Oh boy, the burrower's breath. Ochre fog rises above your locomotive. The air acquires a caustic copper tang. Your driver complains they can't see a damn thing. The burrower's breath, they murmur. The fog persists all day. That evening, a gnarled crewman visits your cabin. The burrower below is displeased, he informs you. She expects a sacrifice. If you wish it, he will arrange it. Okay, so I can risk losing the time remaining to 3 of my crew, or risk losing an old chart. I'd rather not keep the Burrower's Wrath, so I think I'm gonna rely on an old chart. Or hold on. Might remove the Brewer's Wrath. Okay, it looks like what it wants me to do is, these are ways I can get through the fog anyway, and then this is how I can basically get the Burrower off my back, maybe. But 70% for 3 of my crew, I don't know, like, I'd rather not have her on my back, but, Teehee! Pero. A careful path. You take the helm and order half steam. Your engine crawls forward, vast shapes looming around you like giants in the fog. Sky rocks, ancient ruins, slumbering leviathans. You steer a precarious course between them. After an hour, the air clears. The fogs part like a music hall curtain, and the stage of the sky is revealed ahead. You are free, for now. Oh yeah, I can honk my horn. I always forget that I can do that. Ah, ew, cops. The Ministry of Public Decency. Public decency's nuts, bitch. Oh. Well, now I get someone trying to come talk about smuggling with me. What an opportune moment. No sooner have you pulled into the sidings than a long-faced man in a battered coat approaches your locomotive and asks for a moment of your time. I might as well hear what he has to say. He fiddles with the bent brim of his hat as you approach. His face is solemn as a basset hound. An offer of work. His voice is nasal, his eyes grey. I will not wish you a good day. You are a person of intelligence, and the day is manifestly miserable. I myself am newly afflicted by the gout, which has made my mornings a parade of wretchedness. No doubt you have your own misfortunes, into which I will not pry. Instead, let us move to the happier subject of business. You have come to my attention for the very reasons you avoid others, your subtlety and your cunning. My employer may have work for you, profitable work, but perilous and profoundly illegal. Should you be interested, seek me at the Admiral Benbow Inn here in London. With that, he takes his leave, tutting at the thickness of the fog before he dons his crooked hat and vanishes into the crowd. Hey, I'm not gonna ask if it's a good day, because if it were a good day, I wouldn't fucking have gout. So I can learn more about smuggling. I don't think I'm gonna do that. The insistent surveyor, that's new. St. Dominic Station, London's chief station, draped in Union Jacks and studded with bronze busts of her renewed majesty. The platforms crowd with people. If the throne of ours is London's heart, this is its carotid artery. Alright, let's check the bazaar. Hours for the Royal Society. Okay. Enough tea to fuel the sun. I can probably do those. I have a lot of hours. Like, a lot of hours. I'm gonna want... Oh yeah, I'm also gonna want to put these in the bank. Enough tea to fuel the sun. Hold on, how much did this ask for? 3 more! Wait, that's so easy, actually? So I can take those... And I know at the Royal Society they wanted Wow, only 3 barrels of unseasoned hours. Okay, so I can do that. Do it in a minute though. We're gonna see what is going on here. The insistent surveyor. The surveyor has become a regular presence at the pubs near St. Dominic's Station. She has been looking for a partner in some ill-defined and costly project. Thus far, she has had no takers. She has brown skin, and her face sports the beginnings of a frown that never matures but never quite goes away. She wears a sensible green coat with a sensible green cape. Won't you join me for a drink, Captain? Perhaps there's an opportunity here, one that others lack the imagination or the ambition to see. Well, we might as well check it out. She shows you to her table, buys you a drink, and refreshes her own glass of wine. My proposal will not make us rich. In fact, it is likely to be ruinously expensive. But if we're successful, we will change the skies forever. You press her for details. She is coy. One step at a time, Captain. First, we must conduct a thorough investigation of the ruins at Dusking's Deep, beyond Worlbury Juxtamare. I am confident in my theory, but until it is tested, all else is speculation. I need passage for myself and my work crew on a locomotive fitted with assaying equipment. If I am right, I'll explain all. Okay. Offer to transport her to Dusking's Deep. I mean, I guess, if I have the room for it, I might as well. Oh, I can also recall the gossips. Okay, so I can recall what I've heard about her with this. She conducts research at the university, you understand. Her father's daughter. You know that her areas are engineering and celestial archaeology. You know that she has been pursuing the same secretive line of research for years, and that her funding is almost depleted. And you know that her father was Professor Singh of the Singh-Jenkins expedition. It constructed the first transit relays, exploring far-flung regions in an attempt to decipher the language of the heavens. The expedition was lost years ago. How mysterious. Alright, sure. We can do that. Her team are loyal and orderly, squeezing into the available cabins without complaint. They bring with them a great deal of equipment, for excavation, for construction, and an array of delicate instrumentation of uncertain function. Once aboard, the surveyor beams with excitement. She hurries to a window to watch as London is left behind. She has been waiting for this for a long time. Alright, well, we're not doing all that just yet. Oh yeah, this is also another thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to try... Okay, I only have a 58% chance of success right now. But I would really like to actually try pulling off, the Vagabond's heist. The Vagabond has managed to procure blueprints of the jail where Ratbite is being held. That's one of his orphan buddies. He is excitedly planning a pointlessly intricate scheme to get her out. It involves disguises, distractions, the extremely irresponsible misuse of hours, and 2 separate explosions. I am really into this idea, so I want to do it at some point, rather than just using my cryptic benefactor. I know that I've used this option before in a previous run, and he was less pleased with it. He was like, "Aw, I wanted to do a jailbreak." So we'll do that in a bit. Explore London. Liberated from her prison below the earth and elevated to the heavens, prickled with chimneys, mantled in sooty smog, here are old, proud buildings, transported block by pale block to the sky. Here are new edifices of soaring steel and stone and gleaming glass. The ultimate achievement of Victorian ambition, unhampered by terrestrial concerns. London is a feverish brew of aspiration, empire, and appetite. So I have several things I can do here. I'm not going to bother with the gloomy middleman right now. But first, let's see what, I think the Rat Brigade's story is close to conclusion. So we're going to open Sarge's account for the Rat Brigade. The Rat Brigade are ready. Halliges is no match for their tiny, squeaky resolve. You're off to work? Okay, enjoy your work. Have a good day, Sholil, and thanks for dropping by. The Heart of Commerce. Halliges' central office is a restrained Art Nouveau building, not far from the ministry. Its girders are curlicued. Its ornamentation offers a tasteful nod to the clockwork court. Its palette is faded gold, like the afterglow of a sunset. Inside, dark wood furnishings, bronze wood countertops, and comfortable chairs beside verdant potted plants. Anything to make the customer forget that they are dealing with anything so crass as money. You approach the nearest clerk, introduce the Rat Brigade, and produce the relevant account number. The clerk's eyebrows rise. At Halliges, we measure ourselves by the quality of our clientele, she says, sounding thoroughly miserable. This way, please. The clerk leads you through an interminable series of hallways, through offices, studies, and libraries. At last, you arrive at a spiral staircase of wrought iron. You descend flight after flight, the brigade growing heavy on your shoulders. Eventually, you emerge into a chamber whose walls are set with many metal doors. The clerk unlocks one and steps aside. The Rat Brigade is silent. The rats follow you in. The clerk smiles. I'll be here if you need me, she says, no doubt ready to summon the guards if anyone puts a whisker out of place. The vault is hewn from the very foundations of London. Mineral deposits glisten in trails along the walls. Iron girders support the stone, enclosing the space within like a cage. So we enter the vault. Further doors extend from the central vault. Each bears a brass plaque with the name of a member of the Rat Brigade. In the center of the vault, a piece of paper rests on a stone dais. The stone reads in tiny handwriting, I'm sorry. Wow. I forgot how many fucking doors there were. The Rat Brigade was much bigger once, but in the mission in which their Sarge was killed, a bunch of them were offed too. And we have, like, the remaining ones. So we're gonna start with the door marked Petronella. Petronella is reluctant to open it alone. The toy maker's daughter. The door swings open silently. Good oil on the hinges, Petronella says, her voice betraying a slight tremor. Come on, I've been waiting for this for... Inside is a set of miniature trains. A whole clockwork railway set, commissioned from Icarus and Sons, the renowned toy makers. Petronella examines the set carefully, commenting on the intricacy of the gears, the detail of the antique engines. Then she leaves the room empty-handed. Not keeping them. He doesn't get to clear his conscience with a bribe. Wilma jumps onto your shoulder. Well, come on then. There's a merry gleam in her eye. The door is heavy and creaks as it opens. Wilma sighs. Of course you didn't bother for the maintenance of my room. Let's see what the old crook left... Oh, hello. Inside the room is a little table with a silvery key and an address written on a neat card. The address is very fine indeed. Well, well, I may be moving up in the world. A house? Well, I suppose I may have cause to entertain a few guests in the near future. Gave a whole house to a rat? Like... How would a rat even get into a house without, like, with like a key, like the standard human way? That's so silly to imagine a rat as a homeowner. They're giving rats real estate these days. That's crazy. All right, we're opening Albrecht's door. I would appreciate the company, Captain. Albrecht takes a deep breath and bristles his whiskers. All right, after you. The room is empty, but for a card on a wooden table. Albrecht scampers up the table leg and takes the card in his paws. His whiskers twitch as he reads. He squeaks excitedly before remembering himself and feigning a cough. Excuse me, an invitation to a certain house in Eleutheria, suitable for rats of my persuasion. An odd gift, but I've always wanted to visit. And now one day I shall. Excuse me, I'd like a moment alone. Interesting. Wonder what that house would be. I think it's probably somewhere I've been. Maybe one of them bohemian places in Oculus where you can try the midnight tea. Alright. I am dying to get in there. I just want to know. Vianne's feet patter with excitement. Could you help with the door? Yeah, see, Vianne can't open doors on her own. Letting rats own homes before the working class can. That's crazy. I guess Sarge got, like, a big upfront payment that he used to, like, get all this shit. There are only two things on the dust-covered table inside. A velvet purse containing a few sovereigns, and a ticket to Palmier and Plenty's inconceivable circus. Vienne sighs. Transparent as ever. I suppose it's obvious where Angel would go. She shakes her head. Fine, if the dead are telling me to bury the hatchet, perhaps I should listen. But I'm on a reform mission, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. She takes the ticket, leaving the sovereigns behind. Sarge always had a soft spot for Angel, Vienne says, a note of wistfulness in her voice. Inside, gathering dust on a small medicine cabinet, is a card and a heavy bag of sovereigns. Vienne approaches cautiously. She reads the card. This is the name of a very good trauma specialist at Magdalen's. The sovereigns more than cover the fee. She closes the purse and takes the card. I'll take them to him. I do have a duty of care, and this is long overdue. We didn't get Angel because Angel and Vienne refused to work together, and Vienne just happened to be, the easier one to pick up. Open the door marked Humphrey. The lieutenant sighs. Do I even want to know? The room contains nothing but a casket. Inside is a moldering hamster corpse and a deed from Lovelace and Fedlock, pet procurers. The lieutenant reads the deed and snorts. This is supposed to be my grandmother. Turns out I'm a pedigree after all. He closes the casket firmly. Let's leave. Not like I could make any use of it. That is definitely very misguided. That's kind of the last thing I would want to see in a bank vault. Opening the door marked Christobel. Our long-range gunner. She died on the blockade, says Cinders. Guess Sarge thought she'd make it. Inside is a collection of faded dolls and a bottle of wine. They are arranged in a circle as if at a tea party. Christabel was always lonely, says Cinders, but she hated people. I tracked down and stuffed your ancestor. Congratulations, you are of noble blood. What the fuck? Nobody in this game is normal. Open the door marked Sebastian. Our quartermaster, Albrecht's mate, didn't make it, Cinders says. Damn, I forgot that Albrecht is a gay rat. Fucking gay little rats. Inside is a golden ring and a set of expensive dishes, complete with several moldering recipe books. The ring has dulled. Cinders closes the door behind you. Best Albrecht doesn't come in. Damn, that's really sad. This fucking, this rat is gay and basically widowed. Open the door marked Seamus. Our navigator died getting us off the governor's engine, Cinders says. This room contains a permit. It allows one-way travel back through the avid horizon. Cinders crumples the document up. Useless now, she says. Nobody's been in or out of the avid horizon for over a year, baby. Open the door marked Cinders. Cinders looks at you. You go in if you want. I'm not giving the bastard the satisfaction. The door creaks open. True to her word, Cinders remains outside. Go on. Curiosity kills cats, not me. Inside is a battered insignia, 2 tiny pearl-handled revolvers, and a note. The note reads, I'm really sorry. The reverse reads, take care of them. This has been scribbled out and replaced with look after them. This too has been crossed out. The final version reads simply, I'm sorry. The insignia is of sergeant rank. Cinders asks you to close the door behind you. Damn. Further doors extend from the central vault. Each bears a brass plaque. Oh yeah, we already got that point. So now we can leave the vault. You have seen all you care to of Sarge's bequest. And with that, we have fulfilled the rats. Cinders calls the squad to order. She mounts the stone dais, kicking away Sarge's note. Now, some of you may think that this was a pointless endeavor, that all we found was a broken rat's regrets. Yes, Sarge was not what we believed. He was a right rotten sod. But did he destroy us? No. We're down good rats, aye, but the rest of us are still here together now. How many years later? And that's all down to us. There's a chorus of ragged squeaks from the rat brigade. Right you are, boss, the lieutenant shouts. Cinders grins fiercely. Sod, Sarge, we did this. We got back together. Grab what you want, then get back on the engine. She looks up at you. Captain's command now. We helped the rat brigade achieve their goal. They're not the same because of it. Now they are the Ratty Reunion, and they will work on my locomotive. Yay! Yippee! I think theirs and the incautious drivers were actually the only, character subplots that I fully finished. But I forgot what was in all the vaults. It was kind of fucked up. I know that we can let the princess set up a salon. But I have some business with her. Yeah, we have some business we're taking her on here in Albion, so not at the moment. Alright. Deliver a Christmas card. The card is for the obsolescent weaver at a slum near the vast textile factory. A child returning from work gives you directions. Yay, child labor. The weaver sits by the window, breathing through a soot-gray cloth. When you hand her the card, she peers at it to read the address, then fumbles it open. Finally, she speaks while considering the factory opposite. Obsolescent is polite. Useless is what I am. Can't even patch up their uniforms. I'm nothing but a burden. Not that them here would admit it. Bunch of kind-hearted fools. The old weaver fetches an ancient carpet bag from the corner. Your council thinks I can be of use. Make a bloody change. I owe it to my neighbors to try anyway. I'll meet the contact now. So the Christmas cards are contact cards for a group of anarchist revolutionaries in Eleutheria called the Calendar Council. And I've decided to do some errands for them. We're gonna see how that works out. So we don't have any more under that. I'm not gonna go to the. I'm not gonna deal with the black box yet. I can do that later. So I know that the places people wanted to go were like a little bit all over the place. But if I look at my officers here, this guy wants to go to the Blue Kingdom. She wants to go to the Serene Mausoleum. I still need to have a follow-up conversation with him. I think she wants to go to the Serene Mausoleum, too. Hold on. Let's see my journal. What does it say? Yeah, she wants to go to the Serene Mausoleum. He wants to go to the Serene Mausoleum. Does everybody just want to fucking go to the Serene Mausoleum? And then the Vagabond, I'm gonna help him break Ratbite out of prison later. But that'll be in a bit. God, I have a lot of stuff I can do. And he wants to visit the Well of the Wolf, which I think it's in Albion, but I still have not found it. I'll figure that out. I'll figure it out. I think if I remember right, it tends to be near Perdurance. There's this whole part right here. So let's start. Okay, I'm gonna put this away since I'm not fulfilling obligations now. Although, I need to take these to the Serene Mausoleum, so we will get, the Navarantine Gemstones. And then I think probably with that... Oh yeah, I can, visit the Stalwart Bookkeeper. He occupies a tiny, smoky office cobbled together from corrugated iron sheets in the back of one of the engine sheds. It is stacked with nicotine-stained account books and boxes full of oily brackets. The bookkeeper looks up at you enter and gestures to a chair. So I've been giving my port reports to him. Oh, I need more unlicensed charts. How much gratitude do I have? Here. The bookkeeper reads the report swiftly, makes a few notations, and then files them deeply in his haystack of financial records, beyond the attention of even the most persistent ministry auditor. Thanking you silently, he conveys that you are doing important work. So we're gonna get... I'm just gonna take a couple of unlicensed charts. The bookkeeper draws you a chart of a certain district of the sky. He does not label it, but draws a number of enigmatic symbols, mystifying to an observer who doesn't know what they're looking at, but clear as warning bells to you. Peril, horrors, death. Damn, this motherfucker really said, go here, go in the dark. It'll be fine. Go in the dark. Alright, there we go. And then the firebrand conductor, who meets me at a smoky station pub. I need to smuggle more passengers, so I'm gonna do this. We'll have that going for us for now. We deliver them to Port Prosper. The firebrand conductor flips through his notebook. The lady makes the arrangements through her network. Let's see. Yes, pick up from there, deliver there. Come back to me, and I'm sure we'll have another who needs your help. His mouth tightens. There's always more. Alright, so we need to collect someone from Eagle's Empyrean. Oh, wait, that's all the way in Eleutheria. That's not here. Well, we'll figure that out later. Our next destination, I guess, is gonna be the most serene mausoleum, because I have so many fucking errands there. This game is so much running errands. Running errands for people. But I make good money off of it, so who can complain? I mean, sure, I am regularly exposed to the horrors, but it's okay. You develop a resistance to them over time. Wow. I do think one of the really cool things is how, you know, the Sunless Sea was cool, but obviously you couldn't really see anything under the sea. Heh the Z, as it were, because it was like, okay, flat green ocean. And sometimes you could see stuff underneath it. But in most of the middle parts, it was like, yeah, this is too dark, or whatever. But there's like an insane amount of detail put into the sort of layers that you fly over in skies. Like they put a lot of thought to the top-down look and the topography of everything you're like exploring. Submariner, hooray! I don't, you know, come to think of it, maybe it's good that we can't see most of what's in the undersea. I think that's probably for our benefit. Ah, fuck off. Don't you fuck with me. A friend who played Sunless Sea once sent me a series of screenshots that was just two successive achievements that he gained, and the first was, you know, submerge in your submarine for the first time, and then the second one was come face to face with the constant companion, like within seconds of each other. And I was like, ah, environmental storytelling. Oh yeah, surface from the undersea, yeah. Bye! Don't worry, he got away. He said, nope. The soaring sepulchral heart of the most serene mausoleum. Constructed over the cooling embers of Albion's murdered sun, the mausoleum was built to house London's most glorious dead. Very interesting place, this. Never noped harder than that in my life. Yeah, I mean, I'm not as, like, freaked out by spiders as I used to be, but I still think that would probably... thinking about it makes me... I don't like that. I don't like even thinking about it. The Serene Mausoleum is interesting because there's basically a whole class of people who Queen Victoria really likes, so she basically said in exchange for removing themselves from political life, they can be legally pronounced dead and just live in the lap of luxury here in the mausoleum for the rest of their immortal existences. Very interesting. Okay, we're selling these. Good money. see. Buy some things. Alright. So we can attend a funeral. Few mourners are willing to brave the long journey through the Reach to say goodbye to a loved one. So we can attend a miser's funeral or a deathless funeral. This is nice because it's more expensive, but it can get you favor with the deathless, which is important if you want to advance certain side quests. The funerals of those joining the deathless are rare. Privileged onlookers are invited to attend when they occur, for their own betterment. A noble due to become deceased is somber as her lawyer reads out the divestment of her estates, her relinquishment of official duties, titles, and offices. The luminous cardinal guides her through the Latin before providing her with the jeweled endowment of hours. All present are invited to contemplate their mortality and consider the rewards of service to their queen. Yeah, okay. So there's a bunch of stuff we can do here. Let's start by writing a port report. The most serene mausoleum is, if not the heart of her renewed majesty's domain, then at least its pulmonary valve. We're going really far with the heart analogy here. The most serene mausoleum endures. The catacombs grow as the necropolis line brings more bodies for burial. Traders bring fresh hours into the mausoleum, endowments from the Empress for the deathless interred in their vaults. Plans are in motion to add a new chapel to the nave, while the deathless petition for a new separate station for the exclusive use of their servants. Death has never been so much in motion. So we're gonna find the Privy Councillor's tomb. This is the inconvenient aunt side quest. We're doing a little bit of spying, a little bit of subterfuge. Your aunt wants to find the final design for the unclear bomb. It'll prove collusion, or, she adds hopefully, provide exoneration. Someone in the mausoleum might be able to help. So we're trying to find out who colluded, basically. Who were the parties responsible in making all the plans for things that, for what got the sun blown up. A candlelit confession. The luminous cardinal tracks you down as you make enquiries of the footman. His vestments are as pale as a winter dawn. This way, he whispers. He leads you deep into the chambers of the mausoleum's heart. The hallways here are lit only by candlelight. At last you arrive at a narrow archway that looks down on a long spiral stair. The Privy Councillor is buried below. His funeral was ostentatious. He was accorded the second largest tomb. I began wondering, it is blasphemy. May God have mercy on all our souls. Oh boy. Search the tomb to find the designs for the bomb. There is one tomb at the foot of the stairs. It is as vast as a Gothic cathedral and must occupy an entire wing of the mausoleum. It is almost entirely shrouded in darkness. The light from your lamps struggles against the tides of the gloom. Her Majesty's Privy Councillor must have taken it to the grave. Night's black agents. You walk forward into the darkness, reaching out for obstacles. Your hands disappear before you as though swallowed by night. Your aunt vanishes as though she never was. You brush against stone as cold as death's lips, feel cobwebs upon your face, but can see nothing. Inch by inch, you press on. Suddenly, a familiar voice splits the darkness. Are you there? I found it. Your aunt's voice is quiet. She sounds scared. Uh-oh. Oh. There is one tomb at the foot of the stairs. Oh wait, no, we already read that part. Okay. You find her by feeling your way around the curvature of the wall, back towards the center of the crypt. Your aunt is just ahead of you. Don't make any sudden movements. I found it. The designs? The unclear bomb. Your hands are on it. You remove your hand from the wall immediately. The Privy Councillor's tomb has been taken up with the dormant, unclear bomb, the weapon devised by London to kill a sun, the device to quench stars, drowning them in sorrow. Why is it still here? Why hasn't it been used? Your aunt tugs your sleeve. Let's get out of here. Slowly. Yeah, we gotta get the fuck out of here. You help your aunt find her way through the darkness, back to the spiral stair that leads into the more welcoming chambers of the mausoleum. You stub your toe and your aunt trips several times, but together you manage. We'll talk back on board. your aunt says when you reach the top of the stairs. Her skin is ashen, but her expression is stern. So they just casually have a weapon, a nuke that can blow up suns, just kind of sitting below the mausoleum. That's so cool. Awesome idea, Vicky. Alright, so I'm gonna actually, we'll talk to her real quick. We'll follow up on that. So, we found the unclear bomb. It was supposed to have been used to kill... It was supposed to have been used to kill Albion's son. However, apparently it wasn't, and it's still here. Your aunt looks up from an ancient, battered etiquette book. This is from my school days, she says with a wistful smile. Her focus sharpens. We need to know why London colluded with the revolutionaries to build this dreadful weapon and then didn't use it. There were only 4 people at the rendezvous. 2, 3 now are dead. There's only one person who can give us the answers we need. Her renewed majesty. Your aunt barrels on. There's an old protocol we could take advantage of. If we had a royal dispensation, we could use the privilege of an answer to get an audience. The sovereign is behoven to answer one question truthfully. Wow! We are taking this right up to the tippity top of the chain, huh? Cool. Great idea. I'm sure nothing will go wrong if we do that. So we need to acquire a royal dispensation somehow. Cool. Okay. Oh yeah, I also need to follow up with this guy. I need him. Good thing I have many moments of inspiration. He only speaks when questioned. He has missed the last 3 crew poker nights. You'll need to tease out what's caused his change in mood. Yeah, normally he's so friendly. What's going on, my man? An eventual goodbye. You find the navigator in a quiet corridor to the rear of the engine. He is staring out of the window. When you speak, he jumps. Damn! Oh, sorry, Captain. I thought I was alone. He takes you back to his cabin. It is tidy. His desk is empty but for a fresh journal. His clothes are neatly folded on his footlocker. Alton's body lies on his bed. The body wears only the garments it wore in the graveyard. We have one last journey to make. One last adventure. It'll be an ending fit for King Gessler himself. I want to take Alton to death's door. Okay. So you also want to go to the Blue Kingdom. Cool. You people are fucking insane! You're making me nuts! You're driving me up a wall! What's wrong with all of you? And that's still probably the most normal... No, you know what? You know what? The rats give me the most normal, straightforward plotline and ending that I've ever seen. All the rest of you freaks... It's fine. This is what keeps things interesting. I still haven't been to the Blue Kingdom. I should probably get around to doing that at some point. Cause, like, the most ridiculous thing about the rats, as a plot point, and as, like, you know, as of being our companions, the most ridiculous thing about them is just that they're talking rats. If they were people, it would be completely straightforward. The only ridiculous thing about it is that they're fucking rats. Everything else is like, okay, yeah, this would happen in some kind of, like, post-war drama or whatever. Oh yeah, I also need to follow up with, the feline eccentric. I'm helping her get rid of the remnants of her past self. Belith is a gaunt black cat, always pushing himself to the front of feeding time, always sitting where people need to be. Belith the Demander. Belith barges past you in the corridor. He has heard 2 stokers arguing. When he finds them, he watches, rapt, with the air of an ancient philosopher king. He is fascinated by their red faces, their bristling mustaches, their pointing fingers and clenched fists. The eccentric joins you. Belith admires force, she whispers. He would fit in at the floating parliament where MPs push their beliefs into law using words as swords and procedure as nooses. Yes, the eccentric muses. I think he'd like that. And I know what he'd find intolerable, dreams. Those dreams where the rules all change and your strength is useless. The roses of Caduceus could help. So it would actually be really easy to just take him up to the floating parliament. And then we need more savage secrets for this one. That's alright. Oh yeah, and you, I also need to, I need to take this one to wherever the... Wait, where was it? Hostrop Deep. Yeah, in a barren corner of the sky. We'll need to use our scout to find it. West-southwest of London. Actually, isn't that like... No, wait, we're east. We need to go, like, to the other side of the map. Okay, we'll worry about that later. Okay, the princess should have, she's in the mausoleum. She should have some stuff she wants to do as well. We can contemplate the dead sun for some reason. The corpse of Albion's old son is visible from the great rose-colored window. Oh, you get a vision of the heavens. Okay, so it's worth getting a little terror. Smoke still rises from the sun's smoldering core. The wound that slew it is clearly visible, a great rent torn in one side. Star stuff, long since cooled to the color of coal, spills into the sky. It is said that when Her Majesty entered Albion, she slew the sun with an experimental weapon, an unclear bomb. Then she claimed the sun's throne and dominion. Leaving the remains here is a clear message. Not even the suns are above the Empire's reach. Of course, you know better. Yeah, whatever, Victoria. Okay, we're doing the, Martyr Cup quest also. We investigated, the disappearance of the Chamberlain of the mausoleum, and we found that he's gone, and now we're just kind of following up on what he was looking for. He became a quester for the Martyr King's Cup, and has abandoned his role at the mausoleum. Whoa, look at that, I leveled up! Oh, and I got stuff! Yippee! The mourner's tone is grim. Yes, we knew. The Chamberlain was always preoccupied by the deepest vaults. Too many visitors have gone down there and come back with strange ideas in their heads. He hands you a sheaf of documents. Maps from his office with his notes. They may prove useful. I'm giving them to you because the alternative is to burn them. As you turn to leave, he raises a polished finger. Before you go, a warning. Fortunately for you, you have not chosen to seek the cup, but you should ensure that the journal is destroyed. It can only lead others astray. Well, okay. So we can also, okay, visit the memorial to the prince consort. That is what our princess wants. The most dearly beloved corpse in all Albion. Okay, so... Okay, I forgot that... I forgot that I got two people who want to see the corpse. The most serene mausoleum was built to commemorate Her Renewed Majesty's dead love. His tomb is in the heart of the mausoleum. The vaults, chapels, mourners, and courtiers, all arteries and capillaries to his memory. To visit the tomb, one must speak to the cheery registrar. Okay, yeah. I have a cryptic benefactor, and it seems that's the only way to get assistance to get, the hoarder to actually look at his corpse. Cool. So we'll just do that. The cheery registrar's expression dims at the mention of your cryptic benefactor, and though her smile does not wither, something in her eyes alters. Him, she purrs without affection. Of course, it'd be him. Very well. Emptied now of remark, the cheery registrar allows you into the mausoleum, her gait turned stiff and reluctant. We are as alone as assured, yes. The dust and the air sit heavy as grief upon your tongue. Inside the tomb, you see the prince consort upon his altar. As you move deeper, he lets out a labored moan. There is a figure beside him, an impossible, improbable silhouette. Is that her renewed majesty? At first glance, it seems true, but there is something not quite right about the shadows of her face, something younger, more waxen. Well then. You are supposed to be dead, sir. Given the nature of the tomb, it is not unpleasantly appointed. The prince consort lolls on a bed of velvet cushions, bejeweled and foul against the white marble of his altar. Beside him, an expressionless woman of startlingly familiar countenance. This is either Queen Victoria herself or a remarkable doppelganger. Speak with the false Victoria or the prince consort. I can probably do both. It is her manner rather than an error in her appearance that reveals the false Victoria as counterfeit. She is too languorous, too humble to be a monarch. A visitor for us. What a rare ecstasy. Her marble complexion fissures into a smile, the words honeyed with despair. The false Victoria arises and leads you to a side room. It is sparely appointed. A cot, a small larder filled with dried blooms and desiccated fruits. Nothing else. It has been a long time since there was anyone but her. She watches you, blinking, a slight tilt to her coroneted skull. She resembles a waxwork icon gussied up in the image of her renewed majesty, perfect and horrible and alone. The room into which she leads you is Spartan, a bare cot, a meager pantry, toiletries, a stool, and no more than that. The false Victoria rarely has the opportunity to entertain guests. I guess we could? I mean, I guess that'll let the hoarder do what it needs to do. The false Victoria serves you a tea as sweet as marmalade, as black as regret. Isn't this nice? She purrs, settling back onto the cot with a starched rustle of organza. I have missed the idea of friends. I had them, you know, before her renewed majesty requested that I take her likeness and her place by Albert's side. The stately homunculus raises an alabaster hand, studies the joints dispassionately. I wonder sometimes if there is any of me left. Some days I wake up and forget if there was ever a life before this tomb. There is nothing of me left. There is nothing of mine here. Nothing at all. Oh, hi, Higgins. Damn. So she has a homunculus pretend to be her to grieve 24/7 at Albert's tomb. What the fuck is even the purpose of that? That's fucked up. Let's see. Satisfy mutual interests. The corruptus hoarder wants a piece of someone who has endured immortal love. Perhaps it needn't be Albert's flesh we take. So we could take some of her flesh instead of, Albert's. Can I just kind of exit this conversation and see what else is going on? Do as you will, remarks the false Victoria, her face halved and sharpened by the lamplight. You wonder if it was inspired by a study in emerald? I'm not familiar with that one. Alright, so we can talk with the prince consort. We don't know if he has any capacity for response, but maybe. He can hear us. That's disturbing. A sibilant noise worms from the prince consort, a sound that could be a word or a release of bacterial gases. He is a poor conversationalist, supplies the false Victoria without judgment. Once in a while, she can excite an actual word from him, but that is all. Wow. Love illuminates, love compels. Speak to the prince consort of his beloved and her mirror, and perhaps he will stir. Oh, his Sherlock Holmes fanfic. Oh, okay. I haven't really read much of Gaiman's stuff. I just know that he has really annoying fans on Twitter and Tumblr. um. Oh, thank you. I didn't know Mom was making din din tonight. She brought me spaghetti. Have a bit of spaghetti. A long exhalation, full of dust and effort. The prince consort turns to gaze upon the false Victoria. We don't know if he can tell the difference between his wife and us. We are not sure it matters. The next word spills as though from a cut throat. We do not care. We love him. We must. If I like Sherlock Holmes, I will like A Study in Emerald. Interesting. Okay. I do like Sherlock Holmes. It is a fun series. Alright, well, once you have done this, it will not be safe to stay. So, we could more safely take flesh from the false Victoria than the prince consort. I would say we can do that. We could satisfy mutual interests. You venture an audacious proposition. The false Victoria could have something of her own, something uniquely hers, even within the purgatory in which she is sepulchred. All she needs to do is provide a curl of flesh from her ear. You want a piece of my ear? Repeats the false Victoria, rubbing a thumb over the nub of bone studding her white wrist. You nod. It is a small, simple thing, but the scar it would leave behind would be hers and hers alone. Yes. Her eyes find yours, not the sharp blue of the real Victoria's, but a deeper hue, a blue so dark it verges upon an abyssal black. Yes, do it. It is so simple in the end. A cut, a shivering breath. Well, we did it. We're gonna see if this works. Make a swift escape. As you leave, the prince consort gropes for false Victoria's hand. She lets out a sigh, soft and small and sad. God damn. That's definitely one of the more, God, I don't want to say, like, not one of the most dark subplots that this game has offered, because there's a lot of really dark stuff in this game. But there's something about that that's just, like, deeply, like, disturbing in a sad way? What would be the word for that? I'll think of something later. Eat some spaghetti. Okay, we can visit now, and, I think once again we'll call in a favor to help the princess get inside. See what it is she wants. Powerful friends, easy passage. A few words from your well-positioned friends to the direful chamberlain, and he arranges for your passage. It is no small thing. The guards clear the mausoleum of the general public, and the other guards clear the usual guards. These deaf, trusted elite don blindfolds, and each pull upon a chain around their neck, each revealing a silver key. The princess gathers the keys, examining the intricate filigree scenes they're decorated with. Oh, she says, this is of the day my parents met. They were so young then. She turns to the first door and chooses the appropriate key to open it. 7 doors follow, the designs of door and key alike, recapitulating the relationship between queen and prince consort, from those early happy days to his tragic death. As you follow the princess, the doors draw shut behind you. Interesting. He lies in the center of the structure, mounted on a marble altar, caught in a beam of light, resting on velvet cushions. While the ravages of his illness are quite obvious, he is so well preserved that you could almost think him alive. At which point he coughs. The prince consort lives. It is not a life any would wish for, but it is life. The princess has something to say, and you get to eavesdrop. Permission to consort. Uh-huh. Daddy, she says, rushing over, taking his unresponsive hand. I just knew Mother wouldn't give you up to anyone, let alone death. I have such terrific news. I am to be married, she says. The princess leaves a moment for him to gasp. He's unconscious, so fails to oblige. It's a perfect match. You are aware of the Ur-Devil who was once the Many-Mouthed, whose children are the chorister bees? It's him! It is a trifle complicated, I'll admit. We plan to maintain separate residences. He's trapped eternally down a well. I love him very much, almost as much as I love the status I'll achieve once we're wed. Do I have your permission? The long pause is broken only by a parchment-dry cough as the prince consort stirs. The princess bounces, taking it as a yes. Thank you, Daddy, she says. Send my thoughts to Mother. She drops his hand and almost runs from the mausoleum. I see. So she's getting married to a devil who is trapped eternally at the bottom of a well. Okay. I guess that explains the ring of chorister bee souls that she wanted. And then, let's see if there's anything we can do with the Deathless. The most serene mausoleum houses more than just the prince consort. Under its soaring spires, the Empress keeps her most favored courtiers. These lucky few are provided with every luxury they might wish, and a generous stipend of hours. The only condition of this bounty is that they are dead. A legality only. They cannot possess property nor hold political office as a result. They are the Deathless. Occasionally, they deign to appear to visitors. I could speak with the macabre counselor. She's a former lady of the bedchamber and governess to at least some of her renewed majesty's children. Mortality is a preoccupation of hers. Sure, why not? Okay, yeah, you can get favor this way. The counselor advances through the nave like an old spider trespassing on a rival's web. Her dark eyes dart, and her fingers curl and twitch. She notices your gaze and approaches lazily. A footman moves to intercept, but she holds up a hand. He pales and retreats. She begins by quoting Keats at you, Ode to a Nightingale. She surmises you've encountered death in the skies, known its easeful touch on your cheek. She proceeds thusly for some minutes, lingering on each crewman fallen, each cold burial in the dark. And then she smiles suddenly and bids you a pleasant day. What the fuck? What a strange interaction to have with someone. They see, oh, you're a skyfarer? How many of your friends have fucking died? You want me to talk about the way that that locomotive crews like you die? That's why she's called the macabre counselor. It all makes sense. Okay, we need to find Hostrop Deep, a barren corner of the sky that lies to the west-southwest of London. Take a little bite of my sketty here. Did you know that even with seatbelts, people die every day in car crashes? Stop, it really feels like that. Like, girl, what is your problem? Nobody here is normal. Anyway, west-southwest. We can probably swing down by the home bureau and then start using our, scout a bit to see if we can find where the driver wants to go. Oh yeah, I leveled up too. I can take a facet. Yippee! Let's see. Oh, I can lose one of my nightmares like this. One of London's most illustrious private members clubs. That doesn't really sound like me though. Or like the way I've been having my captain act rather. Um a correspondence. Rubbery inclinations. Let's say a black sheep. You never fitted in. You were a piece from another puzzle. You came to revel in your family's disappointment. Their disapproval was a trophy, their condemnations a commendation. Why did they resent you? Probably for my success. I need more hearts anyway. Just do that. This place is such a pain in my ass to get out of. I'm kind of steering my engine with one hand and twirling some spaghetti with another. I hope nothing bad happens. Yeah, that was a level up. That's how you level up. Oh, I'm always discovering new things that my spotlight just didn't hit before. Okay. Turn a little this way. It is very fickle about that, yeah. Normally I'm only concerned about it with major ports, but I mean, hey, I won't say no to a little bit of extra XP. I just kind of go around that guy. That's not the Well of the Wolf, is it? It looks like a well, but I was like, I'm not... There's always some shit happening around here and things are trying to kill me, so I'm not gonna try going closer. Not the Scorn Fluke. Leave me alone. I literally haven't done anything to you. I've killed one of these guys before. I know that if you kill one when your nightmares are awful, you can get, like, a really sick weapon. Like the storm that speaks, kinda. Okay. We are not doing the time warp. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave, you bastard. Leave me alone. I fart in your general direction. Okay, Home Bureau. Here we go. Oh, there's a Scrive Spinster. Cool. Mm-hmm. I haven't really fucked around with the cultists at this point. I'll probably do that on a later playthrough. Home office. Cults from the depths of the quiet sea beneath the home office have established a stall by the docks. Here they sell their philosophies and the curious catches from the glassy waters. It is hard to tell which more offends the ministry's sensibilities. That is an excellent price for a caged catch. I'm not gonna take it right now though. We'll just lower our terror. Hardship, sorrow, truth, a displeased cultist shouts. Embrace betrayal, slip into the comfort of obscurity. The detainees of the Home Office have no time for their prattle. The preacher shuffles off in a hail of cheery insults and the occasional thrown rock. They said, fuck this guy forever. The Home Office occupies a stately, albeit crumbling housed on the edge of manor house on the edge of an icy precipice high above the quiet sea. How's there a sea in the sky? Don't worry about it. Maybe it just kind of spilled out when people were traveling from the Neath to this far-flung region of the universe. We get our port report. An evening of frivolity. And we get supplies. Yay! Okay. I don't think there was anything else we can do here. Because we don't have anything we really want to buy. Nothing that would help us that much. Sometimes I just drop by for port reports and that's it. Alright, let's see what our scout can bring us. Findings. There's something. Ah, leave me alone. I really don't like the noises you make. Stay away from me. Yeah, fuck you. Vision of the heavens, okay. Discovered something else. It's gonna be right on the edge of this fucking storm that I keep trying to avoid. Oh, opening a Christmas card for me? The revolutionaries in Winter's Reside gave you 3 cards. You have delivered the first 2. The third was in an unmarked envelope, and you can hardly play postman if you don't know where to deliver to. Inside the envelope is another envelope. A card addressed to you. What do they have to say to me? Am I friends with the revolutionaries yet? An invitation! You are cordially invited to Corncrake House. There we battle injustice and would welcome your contribution. You, all of us, have been its victims. Society's law is unjust because natural law is unjust. Tyranny begins at the top. Not from the factory owner, not even from the palace of a queen, but in the arch of heaven itself. Those who join us should be prepared to defy the suns, and prepared to win, for our grievances are immeasurable. Yeah, fuck the suns. I am mostly concerned about, like, mortal monarchs, though. Or immortal, as it were. Like, I really do think we should handle Queen Victoria, fellas. Oh, trade this for a moment of inspiration. That's a good idea. Get a little bit of XP. Where the fuck is it? Oh, what did you find this time? Hold on, let me see. West-southwest. West-southwest, so more west than south, really. I mean, I'll go get the thing that's, like, you know, a treasure or whatever. think the driver said it's a little closer to the edge of the map. Oh, hey. That's what this is. Ah, what the fuck are you doing here? I thought you bitches only hung out in the Reach. Get out of here. Get exploded while you're at it. Kill yourself now. Alright, so let's kind of go... We are kind of in the west-southwest area. Successful expedition. That's not what I want! Found nothing? West-southwest. Oh, wait. I'm southeast, not southwest. Okay, we're gonna go to Whirlbury Juxtamare. We're gonna fly past that and then start looking. I might be a little stupid. In all fairness, I promise I don't usually mix up my right and my left, too. At least I made good use of my scout. I usually, don't end up using them a bunch, especially when I've actually, like, found most locations on the map. Leave me alone. Ow! Do you mind? Yeah, fuck off. Hello there, don't mind if I do. Might be fuel. Nope, it's supplies, which is what I don't need. But that is okay. I think Whirlbury Juxtamare has fuel. Maybe. I know Perdurance doesn't. Ah, get out of my way. Cop. I spit upon you. Fungus loves me. I don't love it. I saw what happened to the Parsifal. I do not trust that shit. I don't care if it's, like, moderately well-intentioned. Whirlbury Juxtamare is really fucked up, too. In kind of a whimsical way, though. They got cults here because they got cults fucking everywhere. Alright. We are stocked up. Palace Pier. Workers in neat uniforms guide your locomotive to rest. Tourist engines rest alongside trading engines. Crews trade gossip and delicacies. Signs and block capitals make abundantly clear that this is a place for pleasure. The Mists of Whorlbury. Fog rises from below, seeping through the wooden slats of the dock. The crowds waiting in the queue begin to sing, a watery, ululating tune of no discernible melody. So I can recruit. I'm pretty sure this gives me like a vision of the heavens or something, so I'll take that. The song spills from your lips. There are no words in it, but as your voice rises with the others, there is a sense of belonging. Gradually, the mists ebb. The song stills. A woman exclaims with joy and holds up her right hand. The mists have left her a gift, a pink new finger sprouting beside her thumb. That's not something I would be very joyful about. But sure, to each their own. Whorlbury Juxtamare dazzles like a Fabergé egg, lamplit, rich brass, and Britain in Baroque. Oh, I can just give them some crockery. If I want to get in. I don't think I have anything to do in here at the moment, though. I have other stuff to do. I know that the only way to get a port report is to pay to get in, or, you know, give up something to get in, but I'm not doing that right now. I just needed to resupply. So I'll go down by, Perdurance, I think. And then we'll just see. The belly. That's definitely not ominous. Oh, I don't have my butchery tools on me right now. Sometimes you can get souls out of that, which is quite nice. Going down and around this way, sometimes I like to push out towards the edges of the map, so I can see what all I've missed. Here. I'll go around that guy. Could I win a fight with a Scorn Fluke? Yeah. Do I really feel like it? No. Maybe if I get worse nightmares, I'll consider it just for the weapon, because I really want to get a better gun. But this game likes to restrict you based on your stats. So I can't, there are better guns that I really want that I can't, equip with my current stats. Structural damage? Uh-oh. You emerged from a recent battle with what initially appeared to be superficial damage, but now your chief engineer tells you it conceals a deeper structural issue. Unless it is fixed, the integrity of your hull is at risk. I can do this. We'll fix it. And I get a vision of the heavens! Look at that! Clambering across the hull, you reinforce several of the braces that support your locomotive's plating. Then you pause to admire the view. You stand upon the cusp of heaven. A sprinkle of stars gleam coldly ahead. Below, celestial mists roll and boil like a witch's stew. Somewhere in the distance, a scribe spinster wails. The sky is at your feet. Wow! Ah, go away. Damn, this place looks really soupy. You might say foggy or misty would be a better descriptor, but no. I look at this and I'm like, I bet the air is like soup here. Hence, soupy. Okay, here's Perdurance. Oh. What's all this then? Supplies! Okay. I wonder if I can go down and around this way. Just to see the very edge of the map. This isn't always a good idea, but... Oh. Oh yeah, that's the edge. That is no man's land beyond this point. It'll give you a prompt if you go too far, like, are you sure you want to do that? This is not a good idea. Don't do this. Mmm, delicious spaghetti. Wait, what am I waiting for? Yeah, failbetter made cultist simulator too. I thought that was why you brought up cultist simulator earlier, because of the same devs. What a funny little coincidence that is. Oh, Weather Factory. Well, they had one of the same devs working on it. Okay, Bazaar. I don't really need that. A party below stairs. The Antechamber. Perderance is a jewel in the Empire's crown. Here, time is mastered, and the flower of the Empire's youth disport an eternal opulence. The dock gleams, continually polished by an array of dock hands come butlers? The hands are doing what to the butlers? Anyway, a party below stairs. Tonight, the service bells from above stairs go ignored. We can take tea with them. Ooh, we can get savage secrets here. Let's exchange some juicy tidbits. The staff has a couple hours to itself to dance, to sing, to trade stories of their betters. The candlelit party lasts until the clock strikes midnight, and the butlers, maids, and other staff intend to make the most of it. The staff hears all of Albion's dirtiest secrets and are only too happy to share. To them, it is just gossip. In the right hands, these whispers can become a weapon. Ho 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 ho! Ah ha ha! Be nice to the servants, they have ears! The windows in the parlor are shuttered, the light stained with pale yellows, blushing pinks, and bruised violets. Lit with the illusion of dawn, or perhaps dusk, you see a room cluttered with stiff-backed armchairs and decorative chases, set against savagely floral wallpaper in shades of burgundy, violet, and Brunswick green. A portrait of the Empress, unsmiling, hangs in an ornate gilt frame. A few visitors mill about, casting speculative glances at the exasperated butler while they pretend to examine the door. Alright, we write a port report about here. The visitors are puffed up with importance and embarrassingly eager to tell you how they obtained an invitation to the Half-Light Masque. Some through patronage or long service, others through less salubrious means. All are desperate to spend a day in the company of the glittering inhabitants of Perderance, the brightest stars in Albion's firmament. For here, the sons and daughters of Her Majesty's most important courtiers reside in eternal youth and sophistication. They fucking Groundhog Day'd these bitches. They basically have them living the same luxurious day repeated over and over and over again. Never aging. Which is, like, kind of hellish when you think about it. I can stand for Parliament! Although I'm not gonna do that right now. I have other things to do besides, you know, I have different political matters to attend to. So we got our port report and everything. And now I do also kind of like, I think the sound design in this game is really good because in addition to like the spooky noises and, you know, the appropriate setting tracks and everything, I like that, you know, sometimes in places like you hear different sounds, like in crowded places like this, people chattering, glasses clinking, stuff like that. It really makes the dead silence of other places stand out further. Alright, so we want to go up in the direction of the clockwork sun. It'll be west-southwest that we find what we're looking for. At least the clockwork sun has fuel on sale. Alright, so this is probably... we'll start getting to, like, the midway point here. What has it found? Is this it? A windswept habitation. Ah, yes, another one of these. Let's take a little rest here. Lower our terror. Our terror. Ah, come the hell on. Look at the glass. Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from me. You do not want to scrimmage with me. Get away. I'm so serious. Oh, fuck. You piece of shit. This would be a really stupid place to die. Not even gonna lie. Oh, hey, I found fuel. Not what I wanted to find. No, the clockwork sun is like due west, right? Or maybe that's in the right general direction. Let me see if I can find another thing around here. Nothing, huh? Okay. We'll go up this way then. They accomplished, like, an impressive kind of eye strain here a little bit, I think. Because this actually is kind of hard to, look at. Make sense of the dream. Let's commit him to the captain's log. Tales of terror can be very useful in some settings. It's very interesting to me that the sun is like a huge element of the horror in this game. The sun and light and such. Very interesting. Whereas the moon is not. The moon is a wonder rather than the horror when you find it in Eleutheria. West-southwest of London, he said. What has it found? What is that? It might be like a little weft in space. So I should be careful. Oh yeah, that's what it is. An injury? Uh-oh. Two supplies? No. I'm gonna try. Oh! I fucked up. We lost 3 crew! No! The thief of breath. The first is beyond help. You leave him to die while you try to save the second. You staunch the bleeding, sew them up, and move on. At first you are hopeful for the third, but she dies quietly while you are digging shrapnel from beneath her ribs. Then, the next day, the second patient, the last one alive, succumbs to infection. 1,000 deaths wait in the skies. These were just 3. That's fucked up. Okay. So they said it was like at the around the edge of the map. So I'm just gonna keep moving kind of in that direction. Nothing. Nothing to report. Well, it keeps going. It actually keeps, since it keeps going upward, maybe it would be better if I went a little bit more south first. Just a little bit more. More south and more west. They made this shit hard to find. Look at all the glass. Oh. A condemned experiment? Damn. Now that's a rarity. Keeps finding nothing. Damn. We might have to regroup and figure this out later. Especially because my hull is looking a little bad and I need more fuel. And I feel like I'm wasting most of my damn supplies on this KV. Alright. Sunspur. We definitely want, fuel. And then at the bazaar... Oh, I didn't bring tea with me. Unfortunate. Well, I'll worry about that later. I'll have to come back here anyway, I think, if I'm gonna head back to London for repairs and such. I think I had a couple things to do here. I'm not gonna scavenge with the dawn rats. That's kind of a risky venture. Sunlight seeps like syrup through cracks in the stained glass ceiling. The floor shudders in time with the churning machinery far beneath your feet. The air has a tang of chemicals, bonfires, and rain. Pistons pump, cogs turn, and suit-swaddled figures tend to the enginery, bellowing over the shrieking metal. So I will write a port report here. The clockwork sun is the preeminent symbol of the Empire's heavenly dominion. The newspapers in London call it enduring, everlasting, eternal. Engineers flock to you. You need to tell London what's happening up here, they say. Tell them to send more engineers. Send resources. Send help. Something. Anything. They list a litany of recent faults. A broken cog, a snapped belt, unpredictable flares. More engineers swallowed by light or vitrified. And every morning the sun has been taking longer and longer to reach full incandescence. Ah, yes. The sun is in a constant state of dying, and you need to do certain things to strengthen it. Oh my god, the strength of the sun is at 9? I wonder what happens when it gets to 0. That'll be interesting to find out. The rest of the stuff, I don't think I can. Oh, wait, yeah, I can. I can head towards Azimuth. And there's a guy here, he's a member of a cult called the New Sequencers, and they basically worship, like, these machine suns, like the Clockwork Sun. He's been trying to get me to deliver well-intentioned but really misguided charity to people. With unrepressed delight, the sequencer listens to your account of delivering the items to the orphanage. The items that I sent were loaded flintlock pistols, by the way. He wanted to send loaded flintlock pistols to children. Why? Beats me, but the children were thrilled about it. A hand settles on your shoulder. From here on out, the coffers of Azimuth are dedicated entirely to the betterment of mankind, says the sequencer breathlessly. Together, we'll bring light to even the darkest regions of Albion. I hope you'll join me in a hymn. Without waiting for your answer, he launches into a breathless hymn. You don't know the words, but do a creditable job of mumbling along. Brother, I'm not here to join your fucking cult. I'm just doing some jobs because I need the extra cash and XP. A crate of spotted cravats and new sequence hymn books awaits delivery to some unsuspecting folks somewhere. Uh-oh. The dazzled sequencer explains you'll be delivering your care package to one of the grottiest slums in Whirlbury Juxtamare. It is apparently suffering an extreme deprivation of cravats. Soon enough, the people of Albion will look up at the sun in the sky and see a giver of warmth and life and kindness, something they can rely on, just like the old days. He flashes you his most sincere smile and bids you a good journey. Okay. Brother, I am going to get shivved there. That is not a good idea. I could see Brits actually thinking this when we see people without cravats. Yeah, that would be a very British thing to think. Alright, let's see. What can I do? I don't think there's anything else I can do with my officers at the moment. Oh, wait, yeah, I can. I can follow up with the princess about her engagement. Let's see. We already know, Auntie wants us to do something different. We need to follow up with the Corruptor's Hoarder. And then these guys... Oh, wow, look! The Ratty Reunion. They give me a lot of hearts now. Causing thrice as much havoc. Love that for them. And then you... You can't do this when you have more than 28 hull. Damn. How much do I have? I can't see when I'm in the middle of a story plot. Well, that's okay. And then you... I need to get more savage secrets and also... Yeah, okay. So let's follow up with, first the Hoarder and then the Princess. After what it has demanded of you, the experimentation and the acquisition of flesh and fluids, the smells it inflicted on your locomotive, it is only right for it to show appreciation. You enter the Corruptor's Hoarder's cabin to discover the space transformed, chandeliered by strings of blister glow crystal. The floor is a labyrinth of cushions, tasseled and richly damasked. But all this is undeserving of comment compared to the spread that the Chiropterous Hoarder prepared. Unctuous meats, roasted and smoked and confitted just so, delicate stews, profane desserts, the most ribald of cocktails. Your host spared no expense, allowed no decorum. You eat and indulge while the Chiropterous Hoarder whispers quietly of stories that seem almost true. Then, when you are drowsy with pleasure, it touches a shy hand to your knee. "You are pleased?" it asks. "I wish to show more, do more, please more. Yes?" Is it proposing an exchange of intimacies? Yo! No! actually can fuck the bat. Yo. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me, this is very important. Do I fuck the bat? Vote now on your phones. Did I see that? Oh yeah, I saw they released a Fallen London dating sim, but I didn't see that you can fuck the bats in it. You know, I gotta hand it to them. They are very imaginative, when it comes to dalliances. I know that you can fuck the rubbery men too. You could in Sunless Sea, and you can here if you go to, the House of Rods and Chains, where the rubbery men have their little marketplace. Looks like we are leaning strongly towards yes. I don't feel that there are going to be any objections to this. You guys are sick. Okay. Well then. I guess we're doing this. Experimentation is what provides life with its flavor. This will at least be an instructive memory. I mean, it put all this effort into like making a nice evening for me for all the stuff that I did for it. I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. The Chiropterus hoarder, you discover, possesses an exceptionally acrobatic tongue. Its length and its prehensility, coupled with your bedmate's fascination with your physique, make for transcendent explorations. True to character, the Chiropterus hoarder is voracious. What surprises is how eager it is to supply pleasure, how excited it is to savor and tease until exhaustion claims you from its attentions. So not only can you fuck the bat, but the bat fucks like a beast? Girl, what'd that tongue do? Oh my god. It took great pains to cause immense pleasure. Yo. The attention to detail. I gotta appreciate it. Okay, well, let's follow up on that quest. It's been uncommonly quiet. The moment is finally right. No, it's ready. The texture of its scrutiny is changed. No longer are you a curiosity or a captain. Instead, it regards you as it might an item from its collection. Ready at precious last. And it's you, all you to thank for this. I won't forget this, and you will be glad that I will not. The Chiropterus hoarder's voice plunges low, velveted with urgency. To Faith's fall again, yes? One last time. It's ready to conclude its work. Okay, so we gotta go back to the Reach, to Faith's fall to do that. And here DC says Batman doesn't give head. The cowards. You know, it's funny, you would think that, like, look at, like, you can see its mouth here. That doesn't look like a very inviting set of teeth, but I guess the tongue makes up for it, huh? This used to be Mr. Apples in Fallen London. Oh! Mr. Apples. And now it's the Hoarder. That's so silly. All right, now let's follow up with the princess. So, you're marrying a devil, huh? Part of you doesn't want to know more. It's an easy part to ignore. Not a devil, my devil, says the incognito princess proudly, rubbing her toes on the dead rug of her old self. The poetical suitor and the analytical suitor are trapped inside bird cages made of bird bones, wailing at the news. We must proceed to the Well of the Wolf, says the princess. It's not a wolf down there. My beloved awaits. Soon we will be together. Well, not strictly speaking together, that would be disastrous, but at least married. The princess takes your hand and looks you in the eyes. It has been such fun to go on an adventure with a friend, she says. You'll give me away, of course. It isn't a question. So she's going to the Well of the Wolf, not to free her beloved, but just to get the official marriage out of the way. Okay. I'm assuming that you can't, seduce the princess, which is honestly, almost kind of a relief. I'm, like, really, like, you know, for all the freaky shit that I come to expect from these games, I would be genuinely afraid to see what she would do to you. I mean, just going by, like, the state of her suitors is not even the half of it. By the way, the bird bones are all starlings that she killed, and then she made these two suitors strip the flesh from the bones and build bird cages out of them. Normal shit. Incredibly normal shit. You would hit? I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I'd be scared, you know? I'd be so fucking scared. Alright, so her next destination is the Well of the Wolf. Very cool. My next destination should probably be London itself, so that I can restock some things and take stock of some things. I think on that note I'm gonna end it, because all this reading and talking has my jaw getting a little bit tired. All the jabber-jawing, all the reading, all of the, intimacy. The unexpected variety. Honestly, I've had the option to seduce the clay conductor, but was like, nah, I don't feel like doing that. I'd be kind of bored with that option. This was the much more exciting option, I think. But anyway, yeah. Good times, good times. I am gonna, let's see. Okay, if I'm gonna wrap it up, I'm gonna see if I can tolerate the new, raid layout long enough to find, someone else who might be streaming, and then drop you all off on their doorstep. Let's see. Yes, I only want to see people I'm following. My god, who came up with this shit? Seriously. Okay, I've got, couple things. One of the people I follow is a bat VTuber. I'm kind of tempted to go raid them, because I think that would be really funny, but it would be really weird to say, oh yeah, by the way, we just fucked a bat in Fallen London. Yeah, Hydra the bat. We could go say hi to them, if you guys don't tell them that I just fucked a bat. They're an alien bat. I mean, the Corruptor's Hoarder is also kind of an alien bat. Whatever. We'll just go say hi. They're playing Fallout 4. We're gonna start the raid, and hopefully, there we go. Alright, so, hopefully I will see you all again soon on Friday. Remember, it is a Sakura Friday, and not a Final Fantasy Friday. We will have back-to-back CCC days for anybody interested. So, yeah. Thank you all for coming, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye!